Let's see how long it take for y'all to get back up in here, man. Damn, man, that's my fault. I accidentally hit the button, man, and I hit the wrong button, man. That's my fault, y'all. I apologize about that. Oh, man, we was going in too, man. I apologize for messing up the flow. That's my bad, man. Y'all go ahead and get on back up in here, man. You know what I'm saying? I have to create a whole nother stream. You know what I'm talking about? I had to create a whole nother stream because I accidentally ended the other one. That's my fault. I have to look into that. Yeah, we bite. We bite. We bite, man. We bite. You know what I'm talking about? I apologize about that, y'all. I accidentally hit end the broadcast. I didn't mean to do that on my phone, and it just ended the whole show. So I apologize about that. You know what I'm talking about? That's my bad. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, man. Let y'all get on. Get on back up in here, man. We bite, man. We bite. We bite. Yes, sir. We bite. Don't never forget it, man. Yeah, man. Y'all get on back up in here, man. We going to it. We going at it, man. We ain't gonna waste them. We're gonna get right back to this video.
College or high school, right? You're learning, you're growing, you're evolving, you're creating. And I was able to create with Corey some beautiful, amazing children. Yeah. And at the end of that curriculum, and at the end, there's a graduation, there's a celebration. So that's basically, how I'm looking at it now. And I feel like people when they look at marriage, that success equals longevity. But no, at the end of the day, it's, are they happy? Are they thriving? Are they growing? And I feel like that is what is most important. It's not about staying in something because however long you are in that situation, that equals success. It's about really, again, are you happy? Because life is really short.
Yeah. Absolutely wrong. Where the hell did she get that from, man? Oh my God. It don't say nothing about happiness in them vows, man. Huh? I mean, am I wrong, y'all, man? Where in the vows does it say anything about being happy? Right? Where in the vows does it say anything about happiness? Where? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why y'all need to stop listening to each other. That's why I say stop listening to each other, man. Right? Where in the vows in the scriptures does it mention anything about happiness? Right? I take you to be my wife, husband, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, to let till death do us part, or till death us do part. According to God's holy law, in the presence of God, I make this vow. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but there are actually no wedding vows for either men or women in the Bible, right? The Bible does not actually mention vows being required or expected in a marriage. So take that into consideration as well, right? But all we got to do if we're going to go to scripture, right? If we're going to go to scripture, it does say this in Ephesians 5:22-30. Wives, submit to your own husbands, as to the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, his body, and is himself its Savior. Right? Let's read. Wives, submit yourselves unto your husbands as unto the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the Savior of the body. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the Lord, that he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without blemish. So ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. He that loveth his wife loveth himself. For no man ever yet hated his own flesh, but nourisheth and cherisheth it, even as the Lord the church. For we are members of his body, of his flesh, and of his bones. Right? Nowhere in there does it say anything about happiness. Right? Nothing about happiness. So when we thinking about what Miss Tia Mowry is saying, she's saying a whole bunch of fuckery.
I mean, your resilience and strength is really beautiful. And I know that one of the things you love with your kids is to travel. You have a new project. Tell us a little bit about it.
I have an amazing partnership. I'm very excited about it. It's the Chase Marriott Bonvoy Boundless card partnership. And I love traveling with my kids. You know, I feel like when you travel, you learn, you grow, you learn more about myself. And, you know, the card basically empowers that traveling experience because, you know, with the card, I can earn points not only towards like hotel stays, but also like doing every, you know, day purchases, like, you know, going to the gas station, grocery store, going to dinner. And I'm a busy working mom, and it's nice to know that I don't have to worry about, you know, earning these points towards our next amazing trip. But traveling to me, I love with my children, I love seeing their faces
Yes.
just light up. And I, again, personally feel like creating memories and experiences are more important than material.
Totally.
Because nobody can take away your memories and your experiences. So
That's so right.
we love
well, we want to say we want you to be here all day. We're so enjoying watching you grow.
Thank you so much.
oh my gosh, thank you. I love hanging out with you guys.
We adore you. Come back, please.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. I guess that's enough for her. Boy, people going in on this. You hear me, man? Oh, man. Going in on old Tia Mowry, man. Hit that like button, y'all. Click on the bell. Subscribe to the page, man.
Long lasting with no
Shout out to Kendra, man. Kendra went in on Tia Mowry, man. Travelicia with kids. see, let me just bring something to y'all awareness real quick. Right? Just shameful. It's just terrible, right? See, this is what she always wanted. She really never wanted to be married, man. She never really wanted to be under a man's authority and leadership and guidance. She wanted to be 50-50. She wanted things to be equal, man. She wanted a partner. She wanted to have equal say-so, man, and have authority, man. And she wanted to lead and guide that man and be on traveling as a family. And we're going to go across the world. And maybe that's not what Corey wanted. Maybe Corey wanted to go out there and pursue his acting career and become the great man he wanted to be. And she sit her ass at home and take care of them kids, which is what she's supposed to be doing. And figuring out how she was going to contribute to helping him do what he was he tried to do for the family. But see, she wanted to guide and lead the family. So now she's living out her fantasies of being a traveling mom with her kids, being supported. I don't need a man, but being supported by Chase, which is ran by men, Jewish men at that. Fake Jewish men. So go figure. All this stuff y'all chicks be talking about, y'all don't need a man, but you're being sponsored by a company ran by men. Exactly. She could have kept that bullshit ass job at the Real and follow her husband. Exactly, Project Leroy. And I know a lot of y'all chicks out there gonna say, well, what if she didn't want to even have it? Okay, well, be a single person then. When you become a wife and a mother, you listen here, man. When you become a wife and a mother, it's not about you. It's about your children and your husband. Right? Now, if you want to go to school and get a degree, that's fine. They're not saying that. But if you do, it has to be something that's going to be conducive to contributing to helping your husband, right? Create that generational wealth for y'all's family under his leadership, guidance, and authority, not yours. I know that's an ill concept for a lot of y'all chicks to get and understand. You know what I'm saying? And accept. But it is what it is, man. That's proper order and structure. You hear me? That's proper order and structure, y'all. Proper order and structure. Let's listen to Kendra.
And welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your host, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So we back with Tia Mowry, and I thought I would be able to say that one or two things and sort of leave it alone, but The reason why we're back talking about Tia Mowry is I think this is a very important like case study, like lesson.
It is.
Because her divorcing, the things that she has said about that divorce afterwards, the energy that she's putting out afterwards, and the way that so many women are responding to that is disturbing to me. And it's disturbing to me, and it actually infuriates me to know that women are so callous about it and cavalier about marriage. Is very nonchalant. And so recently she was on being interviewed, and she had this to say when asked about her divorce. We're going to go ahead and share the screen here. And then, you know, the clip is going to be a couple of minutes long, and I need you to bear with me because it's very important to hear this part of it, because we really going to cook, because it really angers me. But okay, here we go.
Shout out to Kendra, man.
It was better to be lived, your life's better lived apart than together.
Yes.
How did you know that it was time?
That's a really good question.
To take that route?
I knew when I really started to focus on my happiness. I feel like women, we tend to focus on everybody else's happiness, making sure that everybody else is okay, meaning our children. Meaning, you know, our children, our friends, our, you know, family. But at the end of the day, it's about self-love. And when you start to really work on yourself, love yourself, know your value, know your worth, and then all of a sudden there's this awakening. And it's not easy. It's a hard journey. But at the end of the day, I feel like it is so, so worth it. So
Yeah.
Look at all them bitches in the audience. Woo!
I mean, here, you know, people at home are sitting thinking, no, I feel this.
Yeah.
Because marriage,
it takes a lot of work.
and it also takes a lot of guts to know when you need
Me. Are they thrilled about really again? Me. About really again, are you happy? Because life is really short.
Okay.
Exactly, Project Leroy.
All I heard was me.
Get them, y'all.
I didn't hear nothing about nothing else. I didn't hear about, okay, focusing on her own happiness. I knew it was time to go when I started focusing on me. When I started being selfish, that's when I knew it was time to go.
Mm-hmm.
Then she said, women focus on other people's happiness. Your children, your I guess she didn't say husband.
She didn't say husband.
But that's what it's supposed to be. Focusing on your kids, focusing on your husband, focus on the happiness and the fulfillment.
Right.
The fulfillment,
Right.
the contentment, the peace, the stability.
Right.
Of your children, of your husband.
So basically, like I just said, y'all, when you become a wife and a mother, that's the zenith of your happiness. You should be content, happy to be a mother to your children and a wife to your husband. Why is that not efficient enough? Why do you need more? I don't understand. As a woman, that is the pivotal. You hear me? That's the culmination of your womanhood and your femininity is becoming a wife and a mother. Notice I said a wife and then a mother, not a mother then a wife, but a wife and then a mother. That is the epitome of womanhood. When you have accomplished successfully being the successfully married woman with children that you are presiding over with your husband, following his leadership and authority and guidance, that is success. That should bring you success. That is a successful woman, and that should bring you happiness as a woman. I don't understand why that's not enough. Exactly, Project Leroy. And that's exactly what they do, a bunch of cackling ass bras just applauding failure.
of your household, of your family. And she said that like that's a negative. And I gotta go in on that because I see a lot of females online talking about, yeah, you know, we see about everybody else. You supposed to.
That's what you're supposed to do as a wife.
Supposed to.
That's your job.
That's what it's about.
That's what your role is as a wife. What you say, Cupcake Baby? She said, you know what, Virgil? I'm sick of these bras and not following the order of the Most High. When I come out, I'm gonna speak on it, but I'm gonna speak, Father. You know what I'm talking about? Exactly, Cupcake.
Yep.
Just like Kendra said, and I said earlier, man, that's what being a mother and a wife is all about. It's like I told you, when you become a wife and a mother, ladies, it's no longer about you anymore. And we're going to have this as a topic of discussion for next Thursday for ladies' night too. When you become pregnant, women, ladies, when y'all become pregnant, your body is not yours anymore. Your body doesn't belong to you anymore. We're going to get into that next week though. Right? First role as a wife is to respect and follow your husband, not the kids first. Man, God, man, women, children. Ladies, when y'all become wives, your first duty is to your husband. Your first duty is to your husband as a wife. Y'all seem to have forgotten that.
You volunteered to share your life with somebody. No gun to your head. No gun to your head. You volunteered your life with somebody, not a portion of your life. Not, you know, when I get tired of it, then I can walk off.
Right.
Then I can go away.
Right.
Your life, 20 years, 2 decades with somebody, 2 children. It demonstrates a lack of understanding of the depth and the purpose of marriage. And it infuriates me as a woman who spent 2 decades in a marriage till death do her part. And every day wasn't some kind of roses and lollipops. It just wasn't.
Talk to him, Kendra.
But just because every day wasn't, you know what I'm saying, a trip to Italy or, you know, whatever kind of fun you think you're supposed to be having.
She Travelisa now. Just like Project Leroy said earlier, she Travelisa now. She want to travel. What's up with y'all chicks that want to travel and all that bullshit, man? What's up with y'all chicks and talk about, I don't want to travel. I don't want to travel. Now she Travelisa talking about being sponsored by Chase to promote their new award system on their new credit cards, right? As she travels the world with her kids. Where the dad at? Just terrible, man. This terrible. Talk to him, Kendra. Shout out to Kendra, man. Go subscribe to Crimson Cure, y'all.
Opposite. If it's not this fantasy world that you done created in your head, then it's bad what you have. And that only equals out to me ingratitude. You're an ingrate for what you do have, because women start.
Remember my man Project Leroy just said they should be grateful, right? Project Leroy said they should be grateful more than happy, right? What Kendra just say?
You know, whatever kind of fun you think you're supposed to be having. So many of y'all go to the opposite. If it's not this fantasy world that you done created in your head, then it's bad what you have. And that only equals out to me ingratitude. Mm-hmm. You're an ingrate.
Ingrate.
For what you do have, because women start focusing on what they don't have.
Social engineering. Social engineering plays a big part in this. Oh yeah, Cupcake, that's what's up, man. You hear me? Because I'm a traveling ass guy. Yeah, roses and lollipops ain't reality, man. Right? And this is why dudes ain't really trying to be married, man. Look at this shit, man. Who wants to put up with that, man? Who want to work hard all their life or be in the process working? Yeah, come on, man. Yeah, man. Y'all hit that like button, man. Click on the bell, subscribe to the page, man. Yeah, man. It's always going to be, and that's what I'm saying, man. Y'all heard what Kendra said. What's up with this? What's up with this whole idea of fun? What's this whole traveling thing all about, man? You know what I'm saying? We do all that traveling stuff, man, when we able to do all that shit, though, man. That shit ain't what's important, though, man. This big fantasy life that y'all think y'all supposed to be living because y'all seeing how celebrity couples is so-called doing. That shit's not reality, man. Reality is going on vacation maybe once or twice a year, maybe. That's reality. Reality is going to work 40 plus hours a week. You know, if not running a business for the same or more. Reality is making sure that y'all protected and provided for, man. That's what reality is. Reality is doing things that you really don't want to do in order to make your family structure work in its proper order and design. That's what reality is. Reality means not being happy all the time. Huh? Reality doesn't mean, reality means not being joyful and peaceful all the goddamn time. That's reality. Jonathan Coleman, what's good with you, bro? Let's get back to Kendra, man.
Before I get into the real depth of what's really happening, let me dispel a few talking points that I've seen in comment sections, chat rooms, whenever this conversation about Tia Mowry and her husband is brought up. Oh, well, you know, she was tired of paying for everything. What's she paying for now? Did divorcing him solve a problem?
Now she paying for everything.
Broke. No, he's not. What is y'all definition of broke? That's what I want to know. Because a lot of y'all is running around here making $35,000 a year. So I want to know what part of it, what part of him is broke. Let me take a look. On his net worth. What is this man's net worth? It says as of 2022, Corey Hardrick's net worth is estimated to be $3 million.
That's nice. That's decent.
Corey is estimated to make $520,000 per year through acting and productions.
He ain't broke.
How is that broke?
He's far from broke.
Broke where? How is that
He's
broke?
far from broke.
Oh, she was paying for everything. No, she wasn't.
How was she paying for everything?
Y'all act like that man ain't had no money coming in and he used her as some type of come up. And that don't make no sense to me. Because you've been with him 20 years. If he was a bum now, he was a bum when you met him. Why you with him? Why did you go with him? Why did you have babies with him? Why did you lay down with him? Why?
Right? He has a very decent acting career, man. That boy net worth is $3 million. Far from broke. Tia Mowry was not funding that relationship. She don't even make enough money to do that on her own. You know what I mean? So that's just bullshit right there. Y'all, man, let's just be honest, man. Most of us are average earning ass people, man. Most of us make somewhere between $17 and $22 an hour. Most of us are average as fuck when it comes to our earnings. So we sit up here calling each other broke when we all broke as shit, right? It's kind of counterproductive, and it's kind of like a little excuse type of thing, man. You know, so y'all relax with that stuff, man. Niggas ain't broke, man. You hear me? So you know what I mean? Most of us are average earning ass people, man. Exactly. Instead of working with her husband, following his leadership and his guidance, and contributing to helping him do what he needs to do to be the man he needs to be for y'all family and grow into the successful actor / businessman he could possibly potentially grow into, you wanted to compete with that man. And a lot of y'all chicks do that. Y'all want to compete with us. Y'all want to compete instead of help me. Y'all hear them grown man bars right there? Did y'all just hear them grown man bars? Y'all want to compete, not help me. That's what y'all want to compete. Want to be equal. Just like my homie Red say, shout out to my brother Red Supreme TV1. You don't want to be equal when it comes to having say so and what happens as far as decisions and important decisions being made in the relationship. But when it comes to paying them bills, when it comes to bread, y'all want to be 50-50 on that. Even though you go to work and may possibly potentially make more than your man. See, I think this is a major thing that has contributed to the psychological transgenderism of Black females especially. Y'all have been basically Pavloved. Y'all have been Pavloved into the ill paradigm of, oh, I go to work, I make as much or more than a man, so that means I have as much authority as a man. Completely and totally wrong. That means when I get with a man, if I make as much money or as more than him, that means I have equal say so in our relationship. Nope. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. And see, in the process of going to these jobs where y'all make as much or more money than the men that work in the same jobs, you will lose everything that makes you a woman, because it takes masculinity to perform well in these jobs. These jobs at these corporations were not designed for women. Y'all know a lot of the corporations that's around right now that they've been around for 100+ years, way before women ever had the right to even work, let alone vote. And I think a lot of y'all need to remember the actual history too, man. Right? Exactly, Jonathan Coleman. She saw him becoming a more successful man and she was jealous. Fellas, there's a jealous girl in our town. Ooh, baby. Right? Exactly, probably. Y'all have been Pavloved. Y'all have been Pavloved into submission and being shock troops for the very same white supremacy, which is really Khazarian demon supremacy, that y'all say that Black men have done nothing against or help you or protect y'all from and all that. That's crazy. That's an ill paradigm right there. Right? What do I mean by Pavloved? Right? Y'all have been given the illusion that since y'all have been allowed to work in the spaces where men work and make the money men make, possibly potentially, that somehow puts you on the same equal playing field with a man. And as far as relationships go, it has given y'all the illusion that women are supposed to have equal say so in relationships when y'all are not. Because at the end of when it comes to relationship, it has to be a proper order and structure. That means somebody has to be leading and somebody has to be following. And a lot of y'all women have got away from that. Y'all think the relationships have been manipulated, indoctrinated into thinking that when it comes to relationship, it's supposed to be equal as far as you having much say so as your man. And no, I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds very male chauvinistic and very patriarchal. I know that sounds very toxic masculinity and all this other bullshit gobbledygook jargon words y'all come up with for what it is to be a man, right? But that's actually how it's supposed to be. Cupcake said, I'd rather be in the house taking care of home, my duties. Though I'll hustle, I'd rather take care of home, and it's not based on what they saying. I know what's up. Exactly. Like I say, real women know what's up. Real women know what it is. Right? And this is why I tell chicks, when it comes to y'all, even a lot of y'all chicks who know proper order and structure and are embracing y'all's femininity, if not enhancing that which is already there. Right? What I come to find with my dealings with women, and I'm not saying that I'm perfect because I'm not. I got a lot of stuff that I need to work on and improve on as well. Right? But I'm not in denial of that. And I'm actively in pursuit and process of making them things come into fruition. But, right, when it come to y'all, right, y'all have been indoctrinated with this mindset, right? And don't realize in the process of becoming a boss, you will lose everything that it is that makes you a woman, including the most valuable thing, your femininity. Because being a boss, that's man shit. That's masculine shit. Right? Now things are totally out of order and structure. And this is where we at today. To where we got chicks talking about they graduating from their marriages. Graduating from your marriage. Right? And this has led to everything we see in our society, especially in the so-called Black community. Right? Exactly. Think what have happened as a result of this being brought into fruition. Pavlovian to the fullest. You hear me? And I say Pavlovian because when the Pavlov dog was given his food, and every time the food was given to him, the bell was rung, right? He automatically associated every time he heard the bell with when he was going to get food. So he would start salivating at the sound of the bell. That is what we call social engineering being done on a massive level. Case in point with females, specifically Black females. Y'all have been associated independence with being equal with a man, right? So much so to the point to where you could just be hearing anything associated with being independent and you would start salivating just like the dog at the thought of being independent, right? Not understanding that women are designed to be independent. Y'all not even designed physiologically, biologically to be alone. Exactly. The emotional instability sets in. Tattoos, piercings, pets, plant. Yes. Y'all not designed to be alone. That's why shouts out to Kevin Samuels. Rest in the essence to big homie, man. Rest in the essence to big bro, man. This is why he used to tell y'all get a dog, get a dog and die alone. Right? Even when y'all break up y'all's relationships, that may have probably even worked out if you had just been willing to put the necessary work in to make it work, right? Rather than do that, you rather take things on your own because you feel this innate, insatiable desire to be in control. When you weren't designed to be in control, not even of yourself. Understand that, women. Y'all weren't designed to be alone, to be in control of anything except for the children. And that's up until a certain point. Y'all are designed to be in control over the operation of the home. Why is that not enough? And this is where we get demon time indoctrination and manipulation from. Just totally disrupting the proper order and structure of the original design, which worked so harmoniously. Look at what's been a result of so-called independence, sexual freedom revolution movements, femininity, feminism, women's rights movements. Look what has happened as a result, especially in the so-called Black community, right? It could all be so simple. And listen here, fellas, and I'm going to put y'all up on some game because a lot of y'all don't understand this concept. Why? The main reason why things are the way they are right now, right? All being done by very diabolical design. You hear me? Sit up there and ask these chicks, man. None of them will tell you, because y'all know, especially these chicks nowadays, they have a problem with being 100% honest, right? And when I say 100% honest, I mean honest as in the reason why they leave their relationships, the reason why they break things off with the guys. They always want to put it up to where he was abusive or he was this and he was that and he was that and he was that. And some of that stuff may be true. I'm not denying any of that, ladies. Of course, we're not talking about the extreme when you're involved in a relationship with a man where there's actual physical and mental, emotional, spiritual, actual abuse going on that's detrimental, not contributing anything. We're not talking about that. We're talking about just common discrepancies between men and women in relationships, right? Things that more than likely can be fixed if only worked on in the proper order and structure, right? But see, the indoctrination of being independent is so ingrained, right? It's so ingrained that y'all have been given, y'all have been manipulated, y'all have been imposed upon by and with and through this false sense of power. So when you talk to these ladies, fellas, and you ask them, what happened? What's the reason you don't want to submit? What's the reason you don't want to follow a man's and get under his authority and leadership and follow him and realize that what you think is important is not as important as you've been told it is, because what's really important is becoming a man, the wife to a man on his purpose with God at the head and helping him become that man while you be that woman and presides over your children and create generational wealth. That's what it's about. It ain't got nothing to do with happiness as far as this man making you happy or you making him happy. Right? Happiness is supposed to already be there. Happiness is supposed to derive from fulfilling that role which has been allotted to you through proper structure, order, and design. Why is that not enough? Well, I don't understand. I don't get it. My grandmother, my father's mother, my dad's mom was an absolute joy to her to be a mother to my grandfather, although he had another family on the other side of town. It was her complete success in life to give birth to 4 beautiful children, all boys. right? That, you know, just, I think about the story that Andrew Tate. See, I'm about to pull that up too, man. I'm gonna see if I can find that. You hear me? And like I said, I'm just saying, man. You know what I mean? Lance Parker said I'm biting. Yes, they want to be like a man, and men want to. It's a percentage of men or males that want to be like women. This is the Baphomet agenda. Exactly. You hear me? They don't want to give up their illusory power, which, like I said, and this is what I be telling y'all, ladies, the power that y'all have think y'all got is illusory in its nature. It's not even real. And y'all just want to hold on to it for dear life. And then you always hear these chicks talk about some 50, 50, 50, 50, whatever, however people feel about 50, 50. Listen, 50, 50 is the epitome of equality. I mean, it is literally the textbook definition of equality. It don't get no more equal than 50, 50. It wasn't designed to be 50, 50. It's the reason why women aren't designed to have to be the leading guiding voice in a relationship. Because like most of y'all will proudly admit this too, wear it like a badge of honor on your sleeve that I'm just emotional. I'm an emotional person. Y'all admit this, that right there, and y'all admitting that. Here's some game for y'all ladies, right? Here's some game for y'all ladies and y'all's admittance that I'm emotional. It's just like, I'm just an emotional person. And y'all hear a lot of chicks say that. I'm just an emotional person. Y'all hear a lot of chicks say that, man. I'm just emotional. That right there lets us know that you're not proper to lead. You're not properly designed to lead. You're not designed to lead. Because when it comes to making important decisions, leading and guiding a family, you cannot be emotional. You cannot make decisions based off of how you feel. And see, us as men, we can't afford to become emotional, which is why we are designed to express our emotions, identify what our emotions are, and when we are actually feeling them. But we're not to be led and guided by our emotions, let alone to make decisions based off of our emotions, out of our emotions, how we feel. I guarantee you, anytime a man makes a decision based off of how he feel, he makes a wrong decision and end up in a messed up situation as a result. Oh, I'm telling you from experience. 3 penitentiary numbers based off of making decisions off of how I felt at the time. Right? That's some game for you right there. Listen to what my man Project Leroy for. That's game for y'all ladies, man. Who say that we ain't helping our women? We love y'all women to death. Why y'all think we go so hard on talking about the stuff we do concerning y'all? It's because we actually care. Because just imagine if real ones like myself really didn't care. Oh, I would be taking advantage of y'all. And I tell y'all I tell y'all this to y'all's face because I know I could. But then again, like I always say, I have to look at myself in the mirror because as a man, I have to be able to look at myself in the mirror and realizing even though that reflection isn't me per se, who I am, but it's definitely a reflection of what I am in this motherfucker. And I got to be okay with looking at that, man, because it's reflecting that which I'm projecting. Your reflection is reflecting that which you projecting. Did y'all hear me? I said, when you look in the mirror, you are reflecting that which you are projecting. That's why I named my album The Real Contender. And you look on the cover of my album, it's me looking in the mirror. Because looking in the mirror, I can see the real contender. Shout out to Rick Ross. That might be one of the illest bars his lame ass ever said. And that's why I named my album The Real Contender. And the picture is me looking in the mirror. Because I'm my only competition in the grand scheme of things. And see, once proper order and structure is implemented, things are beautiful. Because when you're really resting in your femininity, as y'all say, bro, to rest in my femininity, rest in my femininity, you got to actually have femininity to be able to do that. You have to have an over, inner, outer understanding of what femininity actually is. More importantly, what it is not. And a lot of y'all women, females, have no clue what femininity is. Just like I ain't gonna say a lot. Well, I can say just like a lot of dudes have no clue what masculinity is. Now, mind you, neither one was mentioned in the scriptures. Masculinity and femininity don't come from. Y'all ain't ready for that conversation. Maybe that's something me and my pops can talk about on an up and coming Spiritual Root Sunday. Huh? Hit that like button, y'all. Click on the bell. Subscribe to the page. You feel me? I love y'all, man. Don't get it twisted, man. I'm not proselytizing. I'm not preaching, maybe teaching. You hear me? Because I'm not perfect. Right? Not at all. You know? And but when it comes to being in a relationship, I know my role is being in a relationship, man. And I'm gonna play my role. You hear me? It's just that through this indoctrination, through our current modern society, right, that proper order and structure has been turned into the enemy, right? And it's a sad situation because this is why we have the things we going on. This is why we see the things going on with these young rappers getting killed. Chaos Ray, what's good, bro? Right? That's why things are in a failed state, because they know if they could remove the men from the home, that is going to remove what? Systematically removing men from the home. And this ain't just exclusive to just black men. That's why you hear saying men. This system of child support, alimony, and all of that stuff, this was originally designed for white people, so-called white people, but incorporated black people as well, specifically began to attack the so-called black communities, right? Because at one point in time, black people were married at such high levels and creating so much massive generational wealth that it was starting to rival that of the so-called white population. So it was systematically destructed or destroyed and interrupted. Y'all can sit up here and say what y'all want, but it is what it is. The history provides it, right? But out of all of that, those decisions didn't have to be made. Remember, we was given the ability to choose. That's what makes us different from LSD and his followers. We have a choice. So although the conditions were made, doesn't mean that the decision had to be made. You hear me? Just know that. Because even though welfare was offered, and even though going to college and all that stuff was offered, right, it could have been refused. But look at the indoctrination. Being a mother or being a wife and being a mother was made to be something to be frowned upon. And that's because it was disrupting the structure, the order, the proper order and structure that the Most High created in its originality. Now, in reality, the world, which is ran by LSD, is something to become proud. See what I say? When everything the Most High makes in harmony and balance and perfect structure and order and design, LSD got to come and invert it and turn it into something that it's not, the exact inverse of what is not. And that's what we have here. And unfortunately, a lot of women, some of you niggas, have been basically feeding into the mind, sinking and linking with the Jezebel spirit. Jezebel ass niggas, man. Shout out to the homie Simple the P, male Jezebel ass niggas. And a lot of y'all chicks have been consumed with this Jezebel spirit. That defiant, independent woman. Listen here, y'all. Independent, feminism, sexually liberated, equal to men. That goes totally against the proper design, man. Because this man and women wasn't designed to be equal in any shape, form, or fashion. And I think that's something that most people get away from, and why people feel towards religion when it ain't got nothing to do with this. Religion has nothing to do with proper order and structure and design. Religion was made to disrupt proper order and structure and design. Yeah, man. And in that, then you got the people that corrupt the proper order and design, which makes it not proper order and you know what I'm saying, design. Got males out here wiggling their boy, man, Project Leroy say, man. Got males out here wiggling their butt cheeks like women. Pause. Niggas out here twerking. You niggas out here busting it open. No men equal no solid foundation. Exactly, man. No men equals no solid foundation, lack of structure, and inadequate protection. Just to name a few things as it relates to family. Exactly. No protection, no foundation, no order, no discipline, no structure. That's what men provide. Women, y'all do not. You show me a house ran by a woman, I'm going to show you a house in a state of disarray. I don't care how pretty and pastel and color coordinated it is. Especially if this house has males in it. You show me a household where it's women or a woman running things and she got male children. And I'll show you a house in a state of disarray. God, man, woman, child. That structure, order right there is divine. When that structure is being followed to the T, it makes for beautiful families, family structure, generational wealth, harmonious, harmony, children being brought up in the way they should be brought up, right? I'm just telling you what I know, man. I'm telling you what I know. Male lions lead their herd or pride, and male wolves lead their pack. Exactly. No confusion. I don't understand this, man. I mean, I do, but I you know, and then when we speak on it from this aspect, we get called bashers and chauvinists. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely insane to me, man. You get called bashers and male chauvinists, and all this crazy stuff. It's just proper order. It's just proper order and structure, design. That's all. You know, and just think about this, ladies. Think about this, all y'all ladies out there listening who may be feeling some type of way about what I'm saying. Just think about this. The type of men that y'all say y'all want, it would be more of them if this structure was implemented back into the place. So what am I saying? I'm saying the type of men that y'all say y'all want, it would be more of them being made if y'all would be the woman that y'all supposed to be. I'm not blaming it. I'm just saying, because men, we definitely need to work on being better versions of ourselves. I'm not just saying that it's all women's fault, because it's not. A lot of this stuff going on is the fault of these sucker ass, no pussy getting ass, simp ass, sucker for love, willing to do anything to get some pussy ass niggas, even maybe, not even definitely. You niggas operate on the thought of getting some pussy from these bras, not actually getting it from them. Goofy ass niggas. I can't even be mad at a chick using you lame ass niggas, man. Y'all so goofy and gullible, man. Right? But ladies, though, y'all have to be willing to give up that illusory sense of power y'all got. My man Uncle Diggity calling up. Uncle Diggity, what it do, man?
Yo, tapped in.
That's good that you call in, because you can go ahead and speak on it while I roll up, man.
Okay. Shit, I was actually getting phone calls while the show was going, so I kind of got it broken up. But I guess for the most part, it's you know, it just instruction, I guess, on relationship and shit like that. I can kind of speak from it from a well, not kind of. I can speak from it from the married man's perspective or whatever.
Right.
And I guess give men and women insight as to what it really is. If some of y'all are still out there aspiring to be married, or some of y'all may have thrown in the towel and are divorced, or whatever the case may be. But just my own personal experience, shit, it was rough. Everything you saying is spot on. But what I could offer is, I guess, anybody looking to get into it, like a man out there listening, looking to get married and settle down or whatever.
Right.
Make sure your wife will listen. That's most important.
Right.
But in order for her to listen to you, you have to put yourself in position to be listened to.
Right.
You know what I mean? Nobody's listening to nobody broke. Just to keep it a buck, nobody want to hear what a broke motherfucker got to say and nothing like that. So make sure you're able to stay in that position, sustain that position, for her to listen to you and shit like that. As far as the happiness thing goes, yes, everybody is individually responsible for their happiness. You know what I mean? The man is responsible for his happiness, and women shouldn't primarily lean on the man for her happiness. Like, he can do things to make you happy, but ultimately you got to find your own motherfucking lane, whether it's crocheting, exercise,
something, girl, shit,
yeah,
something,
whatever,
figure it out.
Whatever,
bake some cookies or something, goddamn it. You hear me, man?
Whatever you do, and shopping is not your thing,
No.
okay? Shopping is some recreational. That's some bullshit. That's irresponsible. That's being irresponsible financially and shit.
Right.
That ain't you know, if y'all call yourself trying to build something, the key thing is to put things away so that you can build and shit. If you out at the mall every fucking 2 weeks, every payday, or even once a month for that matter and shit like that, then you already fucking up. I mean, so there's that. Back to the the happiness aspect. Like, yeah, you gotta, find your own lane. A lot of these women approach the whole marriage scenario or relationship scenario just being like, oh, I'm gonna get with a nigga so he can pay for everything, and I'm gonna just do everything on his dime and blah blah blah, and we're supposed to have this endless supply of money. Now, this is why I don't, I already knew it was bullshit, but when women say they're the most educated and shit like that,
Oh my God,
it's always funny, because how the fuck are you the most educated and none of y'all understand economics? None of y'all understand spending power and what you spend your money on and how that affects your community. Now, I understand women wanting to fucking shop till they drop and live the luxurious lifestyle that we all dream of living, right? But here's the thing. You motherfuckers don't know how to put yourselves in position to make that luxurious lifestyle come into fruition. You come into it just, taking, all while the man is motherfucking trying to put it together and shit like that. You steadily take from the pot, meanwhile he puts it together. So that's what makes it feel like competition. That's where there's a lack of understanding in relationship. That's like one of the places right there. You gotta fucking be smart. If you're gonna be a unit and be married, y'all definitely gotta be smart about your finances and how you rocking out here as a couple and shit like that. Obviously, you don't want each other looking, fucked up or bummy. So, fellas, you might have to keep your girl right as well as yourself right, or shit, if you need her to pay for your haircut or whatever the fuck, and vice versa. But ultimately, y'all gotta be real smart about finances. You can't really just move around just because you got it and shit like that. You plan these things ahead, and then when you incorporate a child into the shit, you really hit the brakes on everything, because you got to consider the child. Like me is me, my wife, and my little baby and shit. So anything I do is basically times 3. So I don't fucking, and she's only 3. So as she gets older, she's gonna become a whole other fucking person that I have to, buy separate all of this everything for. Right now, she's still like eating with us and shit. So it's fairly easy, but once she gets older and starts to want her own stuff off the menu, and she's a girl, I don't want her sleeping in the room with me, so she's gonna have her own space and yada yada and all of that. So it's just life shit that you have to take into consideration. Like, ladies, it's not a Lollapalooza out here on the niggas' pockets and shit. Like, it's certain things that you have to learn that women just aren't passing down to y'all. They passing that wrong message. They passing the, hey, be independent, just fucking go to school and, get a job and buy a house and shit like that. I mean, all of that's fine and dandy, but your ultimate purpose here is to fucking get with a man and y'all fucking put a legacy together, and you pass that down. You create a child, you teach the child the good values and shit. You know how to cook, clean up after themselves, be responsible with bills, X, Y, Z and shit. And you pass that down, you know what I mean? You don't just fucking, you don't get with the nigga and drain them and then fucking just discard them on the grounds of irreconcilable fucking differences and shit. Like, that's petty as fuck. That's petty as fuck, bro. Like, bitch, what would you eat? You know what I mean? Like, we could have just stayed fucking. Like, I could have just stayed dating you and, taking you out and coming through and leaving and blah, blah, blah. We didn't have to, you ain't had to lock me all the way. I didn't have to choose you, because ultimately the man chooses the woman. They're not getting married without us choosing them. So, bitch, I chose you to motherfucking be that one and shit, and you agreed. And, I think the misconception is, that the communication, these women ain't like, nobody's telling them like, yo, when a nigga come and choose you and shit, you gotta lay it down. Like, y'all are working together. This is y'all and shit like that. They really don't know. They go into this shit not knowing what the fuck they doing. Like, they really moving around just like they don't know what they doing. You know what I mean? So it's just it's a lot of missing factors and shit. I hear the brothers, they like, fuck it, I ain't marrying these bitches and shit. And I don't blame niggas, you know what I mean? But on a positive note, you niggas is supposed to snatch y'all one and get out the way. You know what I mean? And just if she's worth your time and your energy and shit, be sure she's worth your time and your energy. Be sure of that. Because a lot of motherfuckers ain't. You know what I mean? They might look good and don't know shit. They might, you know, whatever the case may be, because they do, you know, they follow one code, but they're all fucking different as far as, you know, attribute and shit, or, you know, tangibles and shit like that, intangibles. But for the most part, you find you one and you get out the way, man, and just you teach her what it is. You teach her, you know, what you'll accept, what you don't like. You know, you learn what she don't like. You learn her favorites and all of the things that make her giggle and move around and shit like that. And you just rock out and you grow together, and you know what I mean, you raise your seed and you go ahead. It seems simple enough.
Right.
And in actuality, it is. If you're willing to, if you're good with communication and you can get off what you want to say, preferably without yelling, because, you know, they're emotional wrecks, and fucking once you start yelling and shit, they turn into like little kids and shit. They start crying and all kind of weird ass shit. So if you can actually get a woman that you can sit down and talk to, like, hey, look, check this out, blah, blah, blah. Even if you ain't really got to be reprimanding her, you can sit down and just chop it up with her and keep it real. Like, look, we need to be trying to, you know, put this 10,000 up to blah, 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 so we can blah, blah, or whatever the fuck, you know, but just really bring it to the table with her and get her to work with you. Once you get one to work with you like that, shit, you good. That's the person you need to move around in life and shit like that.
Right.
You don't need the person that, you know, want to fucking go out every fucking week and, you know, every week. Like me and my wife, we got fast food Friday. We eat fast food on Friday and shit. And then every now and then we'll, you know, go restaurant or go do whatever it is we do, go take a trip or whatever the case may be. But it ain't like, you know, I had to tell her though, you know, because she wanted it to be like that. I mean, every woman wants it to be like that, but I had to explain to her, like, look, that's not reality. We got shit we got to do.
Exactly.
You know, we got to move forward in life.
Exactly.
You know, we might want to buy another house or some shit, or, you know, another car or whatever. Like, let's really be real about what's going on out here and shit. Running to, you know, just do twos and fews here and there just to be seen and just to be out and shit like that. That ain't really the move, especially in today's climate, shit like that. You know what I mean? So, nigga, just, you know, be smart about your mate, man, and your decisions. And ladies, please, like, stop this fuck nigga free fucking whatever it is.
That shit is destroying y'all, man.
Stop this shit, dude. Like, that shit is fucking. You know what's funny about that, bro? Is 30 years ago we had fucking AIDS going around, like, you know, oh, wear a condom, don't be out here fucking around and shit like that. And now that we know we've stopped talking about AIDS, now we're encouraging women to just, you know, these bitches out here eating ass and doing all kind of weird ass shit. Like, y'all motherfuckers gonna have, it's gonna be a nation of motherfuckers with fever blisters and shit on their lips and shit running around this motherfucker. Y'all eating all that ass and shit out here, man. Like, get your minds right out here, man.
So what's wrong with y'all? What's wrong with y'all, man?
I don't like that whole fucking shit. Like, as I got older, like, I'm 42 now and shit. So I just really missed this whole fucking, you know, this little young, like 30, like Mr. O's age and like younger and shit. I just missed that way. Y'all motherfuckers is crazy and shit.
I missed that shit too, and I'm glad I did, man.
Reel it in, man. Don't be out there motherfucking eating bikes and shit, man. Like, that shit ain't motherfucking it, man.
That ain't the move, y'all, man. Listen, over here at A Real Talk Podcast and A Real Talk Media, man, we do not advocate in any form or fashion any putting of the lips on the ass or any of that type shit, man. Although y'all go do what y'all want, we just saying, man, that ain't it. That's not the move, man.
And man, look, they gonna freak how he want to freak behind the door. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we know.
He gonna do what he do.
We know.
I'm gonna just say, you know, Nigga, that's your bodily waste. Like, nigga, that ain't motherfucking like a piece of candy ain't gonna drop out that motherfucking, like, it's gonna be shit every time. So your bodily waste comes out of there. Like,
niggas is nasty, man.
Your mouth where you intake the good. This is where you intake the good, and you're gonna put it on where a nigga dispenses the bad. Like, just common sense shit, man. It ain't that much freak in the world, man.
Yeah. Like I say, Uncle Tom, Uncle Diggity, man. Listen, it's the difference between being freaky and being nasty, man. That's nasty. That's just flat out nasty.
Motherfucking, y'all gonna have to go get hepatitis shots and shit in a minute, fucking around and shit with eating bikes and shit, man. Like,
yeah, that shit crazy as hell, man.
That's crazy. I ain't gonna front though. When I was young, I would call myself being a little freak nigga and shit. I'm not sure about trying that shit.
All right.
Once that shit kind of became the standard and shit, I'm like, nah, like, nigga, I missed that bus. Like, fuck that shit. Like, I'm cool.
Yeah. What my nigga Jabby said, niggas out here eating booty smoothies.
Yeah, like, bruh. Like, man, the kitty, I hope the kitty, if you gotta skip kitty and eat the ass, bro, like, you need to just back up altogether. Like, the vagina should be sufficient, bro. Mm-hmm. Straight up. If you're gonna eat something, the vagina should be sufficient. If you gotta skip the cat and go to the ass, bro, that's a problem. That's it. You shouldn't be that high. You shouldn't be that drunk to where you want to just be like, fuck it. I'm just, I'm gonna throw it all on the table.
Yeah, because you gotta think about it though, Uncle Diggity, bro. Think about it like this, Uncle Diggity, bro. In order for you, just think of the pause, man. Pause. You hear me? Think of the position as a man you gotta get in order, you know what I'm saying, for you to get your go ahead and get your little booty hole, hey, you little nasty, freaky little homo. I think that's just some homo shit to me. That's just some super fun boy shit to me. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's a total disrespect if a chick was to even imply that's what she want to do. Is nasty, like I said, and y'all girls out here just be talking about it. I'll be looking on, listen, Uncle D, I'll be looking on Facebook and social engineering, man, and I just be seeing how openly females talk about eating ass, man. Like, y'all just y'all nasty, man. Another reason why niggas probably ain't trying to fuck with y'all, because niggas is like, y'all, you mess with a dude out here, and it's just all a bad situation because you didn't let, what I mean? If he a dude that ain't on it, he gonna know that you tried to eat his ass, man. I'm pretty sure he stopped you. And when he stopped you, he's like, oh, whoa, now you're just known as an ass eating ass bitch. You know what I'm talking about? And that's not a good thing you want to have on your name, man. But see, nowadays it's something to be.
That shit ain't motherfucking it, bro. Like, niggas gotta bring their own cups if they eating ass, bro. And you can't hit my weed. Like, nigga, you.
No, sir.
Fucking wrong shit.
Project Leroy said they eating Fruity Boys. Pause.
Yeah, I'm good. All of that, sir.
Les Parker said necks, ears, nipples, and toes for me. You can leave them toes out, man.
Yeah,
I'm cool. I'm cool on the toes, man.
Yeah, I ain't too particular on the toe thing either.
Hey, to each his own though, Lance Park. As long as you ain't eating no ass, nigga. As long as you ain't eating no ass, you cool in my book, man.
Freak how you want to freak behind the door, man. So it is what it is. With respect to everybody's situation and shit, man. I just, the ass eating thing, I gotta just be like, nah, bro, because I might fuck around and lick a toe or some shit, but I'm definitely not licking no ass. I mean, like,
right?
That's, certain shit, motherfucker just shouldn't be into, bro.
Yeah, man, that's just crazy. Like I say, man, when it say, man, the Lord is good and eat thereof, he wasn't talking about licking no girl butt or no man butt.
Nah, he wasn't talking about the human waste dispenser and shit, man.
He wasn't talking about licking no coochie or nothing like that either, though. How about that?
Nah, he wasn't.
Y'all want
like I said, man, they gotta feed that art complex a little bit, man. If I ain't gonna go and try to fucking rule the world and blow up everything, man, let me just go on and eat some kitty just to satisfy my, my primal
your carnal instincts.
Yeah, let me satisfy my carnal. You know what I mean? I could be out here shooting and doing all kind of shit, man. If I want to go on and let me go on and get my little piece and get on, man.
Right. Uncle, hey, like Project Leroy said. He said y'all can keep them freaks and skeezers, man. He said they admit eating they admit eating groceries on Kendra G's show. They definitely do. I be looking at them girls like, and they be nice looking girls too. And I be like, man, you looking like, oh my god, like I'm cool for real on y'all chicks for real. Ooh, man.
Every I mean, women call themselves, opening up they freaking shit, but
I feel what you saying, Lance Parker. I'm the same way.
Every woman out there ain't with to get out and shit. I'm pretty sure they're all like that.
Hey, Uncle D, listen to what Cupcake said, man. She said no booty. She said I like to kiss who I love, but I'm not kissing after booty.
Yeah, man, who the hell want to do that, man? That's nasty as fuck.
Oh my god, man.
That's
So I ain't kissing after no booty though, man. You know.
I mean, we had enough problem kissing broads after we started finding out they was sucking meats and shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
We kind of pulled back like, yo, bitch, how many meats you done sucked? I don't know if I should be kissing on you.
Right.
Now these bitches done said, well, shit, since y'all ain't kissing us, we just gonna lick ass and shit. Like they just said, fuck it. They didn't even try to work.
They didn't try to work nothing out. Try to come up with an alternative that's not just straight to the, to the gutter, so to speak.
Yeah, it was just like, fuck, we just go. We done already wrecked the car. We might as well blow this motherfucker up.
Man,
like,
listen
we
here,
ain't
man.
gonna try to put it in the shop and get it fixed and get it back going. We just gonna go in and blow this bitch up. Like, fuck it.
And y'all niggas out there sitting there getting in a position as a man. I'm thinking as a man, what position would you have to get in? Pause. And every time I think about it, it just equaled out to some super fun boy shit. Nothing manly about it at all, like at all. And you're nasty. Like I said, you're nasty.
Nothing. Quit watching all that motherfucking porn.
Yeah, man.
These ideas and shit.
That's what it is too. And that's not that. And listen here though. And this is something else that probably had a lot to do with what happened between Tia and old dude, man. Because when these situations happen in these relationships. And it's come to the roles being reversed or, the roles being somehow, blurred, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure sexual deviancy comes into play because, you know what I'm saying? These women they're sexually liberated now. So, like I say, and like Cupcake kept emphasizing, he left her. So with that being said, ladies, man, we typically don't leave relationships as far as being the ones that be like, you know what, we're cool, this ain't working out, and I just want to end it. And that we do that again out of fault because it probably more than likely in the good nature and our best interest sometimes when we is dealing with certain chicks to cut shit off between them. But no, you know what I'm saying? Because we designed to do certain things, we're gonna try to make things work, especially if it's a chick who we feel like has enough of the qualities we looking for in a woman to where we can deal with certain shit, or shall I say, we're willing to tolerate certain shit. We will tolerate certain shit from y'all, man, to a certain extent. You know what I mean? If we see enough in you to where like we feel like that's something we can work on. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to y'all, what I come with my experience anyway. Y'all get to a point in a relationship where it's cool until you got to actually be the type of woman you see this man needs you to be for him. And that goes against the whole indoctrination. Girl, then you talking to girls who ain't got no nigga, right? Or who have no success with niggas. You talking to y'all, letting them in y'all ear. And then you're looking at social engineering and you seeing this depiction of what appears to be a perfect or good relationship, and there's nothing of the sort, right? Instead of just putting the effort and energy to work at what you already got, which is probably already a good thing. Unless it's to the point to where it's like levels of physical and emotional abuse to where it's like something that's not conducive for anybody involved. And actuality, y'all, that is more often not what it is. Most of the times when these relationships end, women being the enders of them the most, what the reason why the relationship ended was something that actually could have been worked on and repaired and fixed. That's the sad part about it, Uncle Diggity, too, man.
See, us as a people, but the women kind of more than us. We tie kind of what we do. We worry about what other people think and other people say too much.
Right.
So a lot of times that's what's stopping women. You know what I mean? Like that's what's stopping them. That's what's keeping y'all fucking off the market. I mean, on the market. The game is to get off the market. The game is to fucking get you a man and get you a situation and y'all build it and you sit your motherfucking ass down. You devote your life to that. And that's what it is. You out the way. Now you wanting to stay on the market like that. What product doesn't want to be sold or used or what anything just wants to sit dormant in a fucking dormant spot and feel like it has, the world and shit like that. Like, I just feel like that's lame as fuck. I can understand real ambition. I can understand a woman with real ambition to do something real and, she got to bust these moves to do what she got to do. Okay, fine. But a lot of women don't have ambition. A lot of women's ambitions are just what the nigga got. You know what I mean? Like his pocket or just getting to him to get up in his shit.
Right.
And that's not cool. I mean, those type of women are the type of women that really don't have a skill set or they don't have no hustle and shit like that. All they got told was, get you a man, blah, 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 blah. That's the end all be all. And if he ain't act right, just take half his shit and shit like that. Another thing though, on that note, women with divorces and shit, I think here's an aspect that y'all overlook. Let's take Kobe, rest in peace. Let's take his situation Kobe, when his wife was about to divorce him, right, and take half his trap and shit. So here's what women overlook when y'all divorce a nigga and take all of his money, right? When you were Mrs. Whoopty Whoop, you were fine. You were in the wife's position. You got to just do the wifely things. But now that you divorced this nigga and taken half of his estate and shit like that, now you become, you basically left the main corporation and you become a LLC on your own. So now you got to pay taxes on that new money you got and everything. Your whole fucking situation changes. See, a lot of y'all think it's just, the lawyer's going to fucking, we're going to get everything and you're just going to get a fat check and you can ride off into the sunset and motherfucking, just shop until you fucking drop. Let's say the nigga had, Kobe had some good bread and shit. Vanessa, somebody told her like, nah, bitch, stay with that nigga. Like, if you divorce him, you're going to have to maintain that money. And if you don't, you're going to end up owing the IRS and you're going to get in fucking trouble and shit like that. So this is some shit that women overlook and shit like that. So don't be so quick to just leave. You know what I mean? Stop floating. A lot of you motherfuckers is floaters and you just trying to float into a situation and float out of that motherfucker. But it don't work like that, man. Right. You stop the floating. You know what I mean?
Hashtag stop the floating, man.
Stop the floating. Get you somewhere. Get somewhere and get grounded. Become a soil to the family. Get you some kids planted. Get you 1 or 2 or 3, however many you want to have running around the house, however many y'all can financially sustain and shit, and always try to leave room to move forward and shit. Like, don't fix yourself so hard to where we'll be living here for the next, blah, 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 unless that's what you want to do. Unless you in a crib in a good neighborhood and you okay to raise your family, you might want to be here and have the kids come back on some you know, Christmas dinner, grandparents, like this is the house I raised the kids in, shit like that. When it's like that, then fine. But if you are new, you know, 5 years, 10 years, y'all still moving around, trying to learn each other, trying to figure out what y'all want to do with life, don't be so fucking quick to run out, because people do grow. You only grow apart from someone if you don't want to be with them. Like growing and changing and shit like that. That's just part of the human scope. You know what I mean? That's how the shit works.
Right.
Anybody that stays the same is fucking, you know, is that's whack. That's, you're not growing. Who wants somebody that's, you know what I mean?
Exactly. You're stagnant.
Don't be afraid of the growing. Don't be afraid of the person being into other things or new things, or, you know, the conversation may change, or the feeling toward this food might change, or, you know, shit changes. I mean, shit changes. Like, be more open-minded about things. Respect the person as an individual. Respect what they like to do. Learn when they get mad. Learn how to spin off and give them space, or, you know, learn the good time to come and talk, or, you know, it's all kind of shit. And it's a day-to-day fucking thing. It's never, you never really be able to iron it out. And, you know, you would, after some years, I would think, mode forever. You know what I mean? Something gonna come up. Something will get irritating. Something will, you know, it's life. You know what I mean? It's life. It ain't nothing to be scared of, ladies. It ain't nothing to try to, you know, get married and then just spin off and shit like that, because that's counterproductive. The vows basically says, for better or for worse. Like, what part of that didn't you hear? Like, it didn't say for better until she gets, you know, upset, or she, you know, feels she's not happy. The whole fucking, Tamara, she fucking, that shit's stupid as fuck, bro. Like, you wasn't never, the bitch wasn't never doing her job. I already can kind of see they fucking situation. She came in, she was a child actor.
Yeah.
So she never really got that whole come in here, learn how to clean, you know, learn how to cook, learn how to do this shit, blah, blah, blah. She always had paper. So her parents probably always, you know, got the house cleaned, and she didn't really have to do shit. So you take a woman like that and you throw her into a marriage. Now, if it's based around finances, it'll sustain as long as there are finances. Now, when the finances dwindle, that's when motherfucking shit get ugly. That's when bats start flying around, and motherfuckers, you really start looking, and shit starts to become irritating. Like, the other person's presence starts to become irritating and shit like that. So that's when it gets ugly. So the moment it got ugly and she couldn't really hold her position, because she had, you know, syndicated television checks, and those are fucking good checks.
Right.
But the fact that they're not fucking airing them on BET like they do Martin, therefore you wake up, they'll be showing Martin all fucking day, you know, 30 years later and shit like that. They're not doing that for her, or Fresh Prince or some shit like that. They're not doing that for that show. So that money ran out. They made an episode may come on at like fucking 4 a.m. on whatever fucking channel, and you might get a check for it, but that's not during daytime hours. So that check is weak. So her money didn't fucking, you know, pretty much, you know, dried up. His money is whatever the fuck his money is, but
$3 million.
Shit, okay, so he do $3 million a year. That's enough to live an extravagant, modest life, like a nice little penthouse or condo somewhere. We can both still drive Benzes, and we still can fucking you know, or we can get a little Jeep or something, or, you know, whatever. $3 million is not a lot of money, but if you know money, then you know what you can actually do with the shit.
Right.
So, you know, she got played out of position and shit like that, and then he started looking like, well, bitch, you know, you ain't finna, you know, blah 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 with my shit and shit. Like, we were working together, and now you want to spin off. and blah, blah, blah. So he probably started pushing her like, okay, well, we need to see what's up with you getting some more work. And she was like,
You feel me?
I'm unhappy, and now it's time for
I'm
me to go,
unhappy.
and blah, blah, blah.
I'm unhappy. I'm not working. My money ain't coming in like how it used to. It's not all about me anymore. I'm not famous Tia Tamari from Sister anymore. The attention's not on me. Now I gotta actually follow and lead. I gotta actually follow my husband's leadership and stuff.
No, see what it was she was following the nigga's leadership, but she had her own bread. So once she didn't have her own bread and she had to really depend on his pocket, and she saw that he wasn't trying to, like, I'm not spending like that. I'm frugal. I'm trying to lead the fray, lead the flock to where the hell we need to go.
Right.
She not like that. But see, all that time she wasn't trying to get up and do no work. She was just fucking sitting up, or she was on that show. So she was, I guess, but
no, it's her sister that was on the show. Tia, what the fuck was Tia doing? Oh, hold on, Tia was playing on that one show called The Gang, though, right?
Yeah, I can't even tell these broads apart. All I know is one's married to a black dude and one's married to a white dude. That's pretty much the gist of it. The girl that's married to the white dude, she fucking sitting up, chilling, just being a fucking mom, fucking. When she get called to go act, she go do it. But she know his family probably got a little bread, so she probably feel more secure in that situation and shit. This shit right here, the black husband, we always trying to fucking we behind, so we still trying to have that go get it mentality and shit like that. A lot of times, a woman will superimpose, her feelings and shit on your mission and shit like that. And a lot of times that can be.
That's a fact. Hold on, say that again, Uncle Diggity, man.
A lot of times women can superimpose their feelings on your mission, on your mission as a man, on your mission to do the right thing by her. You know what I mean? She won't see the bigger picture. She'll get in the way because she may think you're up to something, or she
wanted to be about her.
Or,
you're not spending enough time with me. Yeah. You're not talking to me.
Yeah, so they'll do that type of shit, and her shit can go any way. But I don't appreciate how she got the divorce and then decide she want to get up and work again. Like, bitch,
now you want to work because you have to.
Been out, nigga, making your rounds, fucking on to your next mission and shit. You're not a bad looking woman. You could play somebody's light skinned mama on one of these little fucking TV shows or some shit, or some little auntie. You at least auntie status right now.
Yeah, she auntie status.
Like that. Yeah.
Call auntie.
Only work. You know. Like, you got
man, straight auntie status, man.
You at least auntie status right now. You might not be able to be the hot chick, the Coco Jones and that no more, but you can definitely be auntie or some shit like that, and go on and motherfucking do your thing. I hate that. I hate to sit there, and then when y'all break up, now all of a sudden you got all this fucking Monster energy drink in you and shit. Now you want to go and start doing this and being out, be like, that shit is lame as fuck.
Lame as fuck,
if that ain't the greatest cover up for you out here hurting like a motherfucker, then I don't know what is. And niggas will take that little pity kitty from you too.
Yeah.
Not even give a fuck about you. Block you. Nigga motherfucking go knock you down and be like, all right, I'll holler at you later, and be right out to be blocking you as he walking out the motherfucking door and shit like that. Like, you just gotta be smarter about your moves and shit. Stop using your feelings to dictate everything, and stop using your kitty as the motherfucking trump card and shit. Put some respect on your own motherfucking temple, your own being. Think about these moves out here. Like, stop being so impressionable about, with the shit they tell you on TV. Because TV ain't fucking telling you shit. The bitches on TV, any lady that ain't on TV, please believe the women on TV do not give a fuck about you.
At all.
Okay? So let's just keep it a buck. They do not give a fuck. you so aspiring to be how they are, and that shit ain't even real. A lot of times that shit be a fucking storyboard or a script, even in reality. Nigga, remember the show Real TV back in the day?
Yeah.
Real TV, where they would send in videos of fucking boat crashes and motherfucking accidents and shit like that. Nigga, that's reality TV. This shit they doing now, this shit they calling reality, nigga, that's not reality. Like, y'all don't know a fucking fucking, what the fuck would I call that shit? I was gonna say a sitcom, but that ain't no sitcom. But y'all don't know a fucking TV show. Like, when y'all see that shit, like, reality TV is just nigga putting the camera on and pointing that motherfucker in that direction, and when these motherfuckers start fighting or somebody cross the street and just get hit by a car and you didn't know it was gonna happen, you didn't know this shit was gonna happen, that's reality TV. Surveillance is reality TV. Love and hip hop is not reality
that
TV.
shit is not fucking reality, man.
So you aspiring to be these little fucking fucked up characters and shit, and it's just not working out, man. The lace front, the BBL, the nasty attitude, the, you know, all my women, independent, all that shit is, stop it.
And I'm glad that you pointed that out, Uncle D, because think, in the interview, look how the chick just was cheering her. Ah, yeah.
Man, I mean, the women to be the first motherfuckers to tell you misery loves company. Like, they always got these motherfucking wise ass quotes and shit, but then y'all fucking operate within the guidelines of the stupidity and the foolishness and shit like that. Like, don't tell me the right thing and then go do the wrong shit. You know, if I have to lead by example, then you have to lead by example as well. Like, you know, we're all adults. We should all be leading by example for people that are younger than us and shit like that.
That's a fact right there.
We lost the whole fucking chain of command. People stopped talking to each other. People stopped, you know, it's all fucked up. But in reality, people just got to get their fucking mind, man. Grab hold of your own mind. You know, make a conscious decision about what you want to do with yourself, and then do it, and fuck everybody else, man, what they talking about, man. Ladies, if you want to be married, put in the work that gets you to the point. You know what I mean? Make yourself a candidate. You know what I mean? Make yourself, get out here and compete. Motherfucker, you know.
Basically, what my nigga telling you, compete. Listen here, Uncle Diggity. Right? Compete. Right? A lot of chicks feel like they don't have to compete.
And that's what I say. You have to stop just using your vagina as a motherfucking golden ticket and shit like that. That's why y'all don't want to compete, because you feel like you have a vagina, and as long as a nigga wants a vagina and you'll be there to give him some, you ain't got to do nothing, because ultimately it's all about just scratching the itch anyway for them and shit like that. They just want just all the benefit, the penis, the money, you know, the trip to wherever, the shopping spree, blah, 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 and then they just basically discard, you know, everything else and shit like that. Now, I guess, you know, we're partly responsible for that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're responsible for that shit.
Thirsty ass niggas.
We ain't real talk, motherfucker.
Thirsty ass niggas, and that's what's going to look. Thirsty ass niggas.
Yeah, man. We created that lane and shit with our revenue. So those type of people are the niggas with poor money management and shit like that.
Right.
The nigga that'll just go and throw his money to, you know, on a broad and shit. Let me paint the scenario for you. If women were fiscally responsible with their money, then it would be okay to trick on women, because you know the money would still circulate in the community.
Right.
But when you trick on women, the first thing they do is take your money out of the community. So your dollar, as soon as you give it to the woman, it's not going to circulate in the community. And they've been programmed to take all of the community's money and give it to outside sources and shit like that. Like, that's how they were raised. That's just what they do. So in retrospect, cheating is fucked up. Tricking is fucked up because of that aspect. You know what I mean?
Right.
If the women knew how to circle the money, at least among themselves and shit, you know, go pay the black chick to do your hair, go pay the black chick to do your nails, buy you some, you know, black designer shit or whatever the fuck. If we had that where we could circulate our dollar and shit like that, it would be cool. But the first thing they do is go to the Koreans for their
Get a lace front, nails, the lashes.
Go to the Italian or whoever the fuck, the French people or whatever for their clothes and shit. Or, you know what I mean? Like they, you know, it's really all out of whack.
Like I say, it's out of proper order and structure. You know what I'm saying? My man Project Leroy said, start using your brain. Men are simple to figure out. And that's crazy that you said that, Project Leroy. And I want you to speak on this too, Uncle. Like, and you hear us speak on women, specifically black women, in the order and manner in which we do, because we know y'all don't understand. I mean, I understand because y'all been indoctrinated, so y'all don't get this paradigm, which is so simple and obvious to get. Black women have been dealing with black men, right? Just like black men have been dealing with black women. The only difference is we've been messing with y'all in the way that we know y'all more than y'all know us. And this is something, Uncle Diggity, that if you pay attention to, and I know you do, y'all women don't like to admit this too, because I think this is one of the things too that why y'all be on with y'all, because y'all don't want to admit this. See, y'all been messing with most of y'all black dudes. Some of y'all done mess with other guys too. And see, that's the thing too. Most of us don't mess with other women outside of our race. The majority of us have only messed with black women our entire life. We might have had sex with another chick from another race, but like as far as like in relationships on serious situations, most of us have only dealt with black women. So we really know y'all, you know, so especially if you're a guy like me, like my brother Uncle Diggity, my man Red, you know what I'm saying? Doc's been out here in the streets getting to this paper, traveling across this country, doing things and stuff like that. Like a lot of us and stuff like that. We done dealt with a lot of women. You're in different cities, different states, and have come to see, Uncle Diggity, that it's pretty much a consensus amongst y'all. It's pretty much like a similar thing amongst y'all all. You hear me, from all ranges, from ratchet hood rat project chick to educated college out of the suburbs chick, black girl. Y'all basically all the same.
That's because they all going to the same source for their information and shit. They all going to videos and love and hip hop and shit. So that became the, you know, that was the fun thing. That was the trendy thing to be. So that's what they gravitated toward and shit.
Right.
But that shit was a trap. Like,
right, super trap.
You know, ladies gotta learn how to turn the media off and get back into themselves. You know what I mean? Get back into the things that move you and, you know, things you're into. You might like flowers or, you know, shit like, you know what I mean? Whatever the case may be, but get back into yourself. It don't always got to be about what's popular. You know what I mean? We're individuals and shit. Everybody has, you know, the world has enough lanes for everybody to have their own fucking lane. So you can, you know, it's okay to turn off the television and not hive mind and shit with the rest of the fucking jackals and shit like that. Because it's only gonna breed a nation of fucking lonely ass, hurt ass motherfucking women. Like you gotta go back to the drawing board, right? We try to give y'all the fucking the formula and let y'all know, as the people who oversee y'all, as the men, hey, this is what y'all up against. This is what you have to do. You know, this is your mission. Should you take it, you know, there it is. If not, then you can go ahead and, you know, continue to feel like you have all the answers and bump your head on into loneliness, maybe poverty later on in life, because every bitch doesn't go off to be a boss bitch or that bitch. I mean, a lot of y'all is just working these regular ass fucking jobs and shit. Hopefully the job will keep you long enough so that you can retire and not let you work 20 years and then just decide to lay you off because now we got a fucking robot or something to replace you. So now you're back at point A with no man, no structure, no nothing. And your rent still due. So, and bills and card note, and you know what I mean? So it's just shit that you got to really think about. Like, you know, I need to stop fucking being so immature and being out here fucking, you know, 35 plus out here trying to do 17-year-old girl shit, since that's what's popular. If you a woman out here, you got whole situations and shit like that, then that's you, man. Wear that shit and do your shit to the best of your ability. You want more, put yourself in position to get more and shit. Don't be a thief, man. A lot of these motherfuckers out here is thieves and shit. They just come to take and
take.
Drag
Like,
the whole situation down and spin off and shit. Like, nigga, motherfucker, you know, got half a mind to start busting y'all motherfucking heads, man, just to keep it real and shit. Like, I would feel some type of way if you know, motherfucker.
I like how you corrected that, because you know. Hey, listen here, Uncle Diggity. You hear me, Cupcake? Because you know I was about to come with that. You know I was about to respond. I was going to wait till Uncle Diggity get done talking. You hear me? You hear me? So that's what's up. That's what I appreciate. I like that. You know what I'm saying? You already know what it do. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, but this.
I already know what that is.
Yeah, you feel me? So what I'm saying is this, though, Uncle Diggity, man. This system that's coming in, and this is what chicks like Tia are witnessing on a level, because she's playing out a level and has played out a level to where she's been exposed to certain things. So she knows, which is why she's doing things like endorsements with companies like Chase. You hear me? And you got to think, when you live a certain lifestyle and have done things, seen things in pursuit and upkeep of this lifestyle, you get accustomed to it, right? And so when the thought of having to do regular people stuff, listen to me now, y'all. The thought of having to do regular people stuff, like get on a man's program and follow his leadership and his guidance, because his star is on the rise potentially while yours is fading and going out the door. It might be good for you to get on this man's program, and since it's how you know the music, you know the business, you could give him some insight as a wife, you know, some inspiration on what he should do and what would be a good suggestion for him to implement to what he's doing, because he's on the up. I mean, he's worth $3 million. I wonder how much she's worth. What's her net worth?
That's a good question. I know it ain't too far from 3 million, whatever it is.
You hear me? So you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I say about proper order and structure, man. Just when it comes to it, when y'all ladies come across a dude who he's not perfect, he got flaws. You hear me? I'm not telling you just put up with anything, man. Don't get me wrong. I'm never gonna tell y'all that, man. But just because a person makes a mistake, I've seen a person repeatedly makes a mistake that's just to the point where it gets unforgivable. But I'm talking about when it comes to things like character flaws, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Basically human nature. Sometimes you have to be able to willing to accept certain things about a person. That's one thing I do know about relationships, that you have to be willing to accept certain things about the person. You got to accept they're not going to be perfect. Basically, is what I'm saying.
Don't expect perfection. Just expect their best.
Yes.
You ain't gonna never get perfection. I don't even want perfection. Shit, I need rough edges a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, if it's perfect, it ain't no room to think.
Right. There's no room for improvement.
Be a fucking, you ain't really gotta worry about nothing. You ain't gotta think about shit. There are moments when you want shit to be perfect. You know, those moments where you want them to flow smooth and shit like that. But for the most part, nah, you want a little, you want dialogue and shit like that. That's communication right there. You know, communication comes from imperfection in a sense. So I wouldn't want the shit to be perfect.
Yeah, and then when it comes, like I said, when it comes to messing with it, like I said, it's a difference between getting with one of these guys out here who just, whatever. When you get with a man who's on his purpose, though. You understand what I'm saying, Uncle Diggity?
Yeah.
When you get with a man who's like actively pursuing something powerful, something great than himself, you come across a guy like that, man. It's a whole different. Now that's a different situation right there, and this is where the proper order and structure comes into play. because as a woman getting with a guy like that, you know what I'm saying, you have to realize that getting with him, that's what's going to be the important thing in a relationship. Not saying that if you have goals and adoration as well, that's not something that's not important. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, when we follow in proper order and structure, you know what I'm saying, a relationship is not supposed to be ran by two bosses. Somebody has to be leading, somebody has to be following,
somebody
man.
got a vice president, bro.
Yeah, you feel me? So,
or there's the fucking foreman, and then there's the delegates and shit.
Right.
I mean, you just fucking, you tell these niggas what's up, and they go around to everything else. Like, hey, this is what we need, blah, 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 blah.
right.
Project Leroy got character flaws in the thing, I see. So look, I'm gonna speak to that right quick. A marriage or a relationship kind of, but a marriage more so because you locked in.
Right.
A marriage is nothing more than character development.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If you think about it, it's really just character development between two people that then form the union. Now, why most women tap out of marriages? Because they are shitty characters, you know what I mean? And they suck at character development. They suck at criticism and wanting to make change and shit like that. They want everything to just be how it is and shit like that. And that's a lot of the reason why they don't last, because they suck at character development. They're shitty characters, just in short.
And with that, as far as the character go, they don't want. And I think a major thing is because in order to develop your character as a woman, means you have to get under the leadership and guidance of a man.
You have to be able to allow someone to tell you what it is that you should work on. Yeah, man, and don't be, and don't take the shit personal, because if I didn't already married you and shit, you already got my last name. Of course, I want you to fucking be your best,
right, and always possible.
So I had to explain that to my wife in the sense you was talking about earlier, like us basically saying things because we care. I had to explain to her, like, if I didn't care, I wouldn't say shit. I wouldn't give a damn what you did.
Right.
I tell you things because I care, and I want you to be right. I want you to do the right things. So a lot of women do have a hard time with that, but let me just say that over the air. Men typically say something to you if we care. If we don't give a fuck about you, if we just knocking you down, if we taking you for the shout out to Dirty Folks for the 2 tacos and the, you know what I mean, blah blah blah, taking you on one of
couple
them.
shots, man, a blunt or so, couple blunts,
2 tacos or something. If we just on that shit, we ain't got nothing to say. Pass by, right after we drop your motherfucking ass back off,
or you
leave,
leave,
or whatever, or make you leave, whichever, however you came or whatever the fuck. But
right.
If a man care about you, he gonna lecture you. He gonna make sure you right. He gonna make sure your mind is right when you go approach these situations, because you're gonna come home and you're gonna pour all of your day into our lap. You know what I mean? So it's only fair that we be able to sift through and be like, okay, well, don't do this. You should do this. You should do this. You should do this. I mean, it's only fair.
Right.
That's communication. That's healthy communication. I mean, so it's only fair.
Right.
So be able to accept the criticism. Your man wants you to tone it down or spice it up, or he not tripping. He's cool with you. Just doing normal shit, or y'all want to do more. Blah blah blah. It's just talking, but you have to be open to what's being said, and just understand that it's for the better of you. It's to make you a better person.
Yes.
You're in a character development stage. Marriage is character development. It is not a shopping spree. It is not, oh, my husband is just, oh, my husband. It can be that, but shit, it sounds better with, oh, my wife and oh, my husband, together and shit like that. It sounds so much better. I mean, it's so much more bliss.
Right. That's a fact, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, yeah, man. You know, I mean, on some real talk though, man, because you know, like I say, man, I'm, you know, we're not perfect, man. You know, far from it, man. Lots of
you
flaws.
don't need perfection, man. Find you something to work on, and find you something to not really work on, but find you something to work with.
Yeah.
Find you something to work with, and y'all become perfect for y'all, man.
Right.
Fuck everybody else. Like,
put that work in, man.
Yeah,
you know
you gonna listen to a bunch of single motherfuckers or a bunch of people that ain't getting chose for whatever reason. They not getting chose and shit like that. And you got your own motherfucking route to run. Like, why would you even, you know, like?
Or what about this, Uncle Diggy? What about this right here? Or chicks who fucking in relationships with dudes, but they in relationship with fuck niggas though, man. And here you is in a relationship with a real one, right? Right, you in a relationship with a real one, man. It's, you know, he's in the process of doing certain things, you know what I'm saying? Not perfect, but improving on, you know, in a timely fashion and getting things out of the way. You know what I mean, man? You know what I'm saying? And when things get rough, and stop not going your way because you're starting to feel like, you know, I'm not happy. For whatever reason, you're not happy. Normally something from childhood that you never addressed and really got like talked to anybody about, especially this nigga you fucking with, right? You ain't told him nothing about your childhood demons, probably because you never been told about them or don't recognize that they are such. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like this continuous vicious cycle, you know what I'm saying? Then you come across a guy, right, who actually is aware of such things and can bestow, and you can see, like, oh, I can listen to this nigga. I can learn from this nigga. You rebel against that and don't want to get underneath that guidance and that leadership because why? Y'all don't want to get up y'all's illusory power that y'all have been manipulated into thinking y'all got through this indoctrination. And it's becoming very evident in our society. And we really see it. And we really see it amongst the young ladies too. You want to notice something? You want to know something I noticed, Uncle Diggity, this prom season and homecoming season? I noticed that a lot of the young brothers was having other races of women, young ladies going to their homecomings with them.
Right.
I'm noticing that to the point to where it's noticeable, right? Yeah. And I think about the image that the young black brethren is seeing of black women, right? And they're starting to see this on the chicks their age with the lace fronts and the lashes and the, oh my God.
Man, these young cats low key be tapping in. Like, I know it be all age brackets.
Yeah, I know they do.
But more or less when we do these shows and shit, like Red Show and this show and shit, the people that like be in the clouds and shit.
Right.
It be youngins like tapped in and they be hearing that shit.
Right.
They can see it. You know what I mean? They can see that shit once we start opening out. Like we give currently lace fronts hell. Like them motherfuckers gotta come off. Like I'm low key starting to see them more and more less. You know what I mean? Like
now remember
that all that shit though, man. Like I mean, you gotta listen to something. Ultimately, you know, black women can play the game like excuse me, they can play the game like, oh, you know, I ain't worried about these men, you know, blah blah blah. And ultimately y'all are, and we know y'all hear us when we talk our motherfucking shit.
Right.
And motherfucking lace fronts, that shit ugly as fuck. And nigga, I looked at it, me and my wife was looking at some Ashanti interview the other day, and she had one on, but she had that motherfucker pulled like all of that shit was like a hoodie, nigga. Like nigga, the edge is damn near connected with her eyebrows. Nigga, I'm like, damn, bitch, like you ain't got no forehead no more. Like nigga, it was just
not a hoodie.
It's getting ridiculous with them things. Ladies, stop pulling them motherfuckers so far up on your motherfucking head. If you're gonna wear them up, you know what? If you're gonna do that bullshit, go back to the fucking go back to like the tracks or some shit where you can wear your hair but you just kind of add the length, you know, like how y'all used to do or whatever like that. Like, stop covering your whole crown and shit with that bullshit, bro.
That shit is terrible.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the fuck that should be doing to their hands under there, bro. I was looking at the dude, this shit way out. I think I was looking at the news one day about some other shit, and it's this Popeyes out here on King and Western and shit. Nigga, it was this chick, she was doing an interview on the corner, and nigga, she had the worst lace front on I ever seen it. My nigga, I'm talking about, you know, the part that blends in with your skin.
Yeah,
shit, right?
you can see the lace.
Nigga, that shit was like ripped and like flipped up, like it got.
Oh, girl, you don't
like,
take that shit off your goddamn head.
Wig, but pieces of it was tore off. It was flipped up. I'm like, man, look at this representation, bro. Like, what the fuck? What it? Like, bitch, why would you even agree to let the news interview you
looking like that? They don't care how they look. Listen,
man.
I just had my girl T on the show the other day, right? You know what I'm talking about? And she works in a school as a guidance counselor, right? And she's telling us that when she talks to the young boys in the school, these are young high school age boys too, 9th to 10th, 12th grade young boys, right? She said when she talked to them, the young boys would rather go for girls who natural looking with their natural hair and not with all that makeup and stuff. That's what the young boys want.
I mean, but we've always we like that, and we were like that. It's always
even when we was kids. It's always been like that.
It's always been like that. Never once in history has the black man ever said, "I like my women with her face caked the fuck up and all of this
weave and wigs and
hair and shit, never
lace fronts
once.
and quick weaves and all that bullshit."
We've always said, well, me personally, but I'm pretty sure many men could attest to this, chocolate girls, lip gloss, for the most part. Lip gloss only, because your lips are brown and pretty anyway, so just make them shine. And if you want to do makeup, it shouldn't go past your fucking
like
eyelash, your eyeliner, your
eyeshadow, maybe some lipstick or lip liner.
That's it. That's it. Stop right there. You lighter complected girls, y'all really shouldn't be fucking foundationing up.
None of that shit.
Y'all should really be doing the same shit. But the difference between y'all and dark skinned girls is y'all can wear color on y'all lips and be cool with that. Y'all can do the fucking weird color lipsticks and shit and be cool. You know what I mean? Black, dark skinned chicks can do it too, but more or less light skinned chicks because color just shows, tattoos, all that shit. It just show better on lighter complected people. But yeah, that's always been the standard. We ain't never like that fucking, we understand, when you go to prom and shit like that, you go get made up, you want to be super dolled up and shit like that. We understand that. But, Friday night at goddamn, Chili's or some bullshit and shit. You shouldn't be sitting in there with a goddamn, a fucking birthday cake worth of makeup on your face, man. Like, you shouldn't be doing that, man.
That shit bad for your skin too, man.
The lighter the better. Pin your hair up, show your neck. That's your woman's grace right there. That's what men are kind of attracted to, that area right there.
Yeah.
And y'all fucking be covering it up with these wigs and doing all of this weird ass shit.
Show us them collarbones, man. That's what we want to see, man.
Y'all got to get back into the essence of, y'all get back into yourselves and stop being led by the fucking television. Listen to the man. Listen to the men. Listen to what we telling you. We want you all to win. We want everybody to win.
We trying to tell everybody
to pair up. Realistically, we'd like for people to pair up, and we want to rebuild the community with healthy families and shit like that, so we can take.
Project Leroy, my man. I hate to interrupt you, Uncle D, my brother. Project Leroy, exact. And don't shave your hair. Don't shave your hair off. Like, please stop shaving your goddamn head.
Don't do that shit.
Stop doing that shit, man. Let me hold on.
It ain't never that hard in the
ladies,
yard where you gotta cut all your motherfucking shit off.
Ladies and sisters, stop, please.
Some of y'all do got them little cute peanut heads.
We still don't want to see that shit, though.
We still don't want you to shave.
We don't want. Listen, listen to us, the men, right? Now, see, after us, the consensus of men tell y'all what we want, the fact that y'all say no, that's out of order and structure right there. That's defiant. The men are telling y'all what we want collectively. I keep telling y'all, I speak for most men. I say that proudly and confidently because I know that I do. Flawed that I am, a lot of things I need to work on, just like I'm pretty sure my brother Uncle Diggity does, Project Leroy, whoever else. We're not perfect. We all got things we need to improve and work on and make better in our lives as men, right? You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, you know what I'm saying, we on the collective side, I'm saying, trying to tell y'all, man, a lot of things is going on. We tolerate a lot of things, and like I said, and this is partially, I'll go ahead and take the collective blame as well. Our fault. A lot of us are trick ass, simp ass, sucker ass for love and pussy ass niggas, right? Who don't know the principles of manhood and haven't been taught such because we've been raised by our mamas, right? And, you know, even though some of us was raised by our mamas, some of us, our moms had the little bit of sense to, you know, put us in situations where we had access or interaction with men so we could learn those things. So shout out to your moms who have the intelligence enough to do that. You hear me? Because I'm pretty sure, like myself, that saved a lot of young dudes. So, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? But when we are sitting up here telling y'all, the collective, we want, like my man said, I don't think he said, if we want things to get better between us as far as relationships, because like my brother said, the ideal is to couple up, create families, create generational wealth, right? That's what the purpose is, because that's the whole reason why things are the way they're now, because that was stopped, because that was what's happening. 89% marriage rate. Y'all understand how dangerous that was to certain people when it comes to us as a so-called community? That $1.7 trillion buying power, right?
Bro, we could really isolate with that 1.7 trillion and really just say fuck the world.
Yeah,
like we could take
on some
that,
on some real life Wakanda type
shit. Times, like
on some real life Wakanda type shit. But listen to this though, man. Now, right? But in order to prevent that, this indoctrination has been put in place. This is strategic, diabolical, demonic design. Alliteration game. Serious. You hear me?
Real quick before you spin off,
Go ahead, bro.
You said the Tamara girl doing something with Chase Bank or something, right?
Now Tia, the old girl, Tamara's the one who was on the real married to the white boy.
Okay.
And
so
Tia is the one that just divorced her.
Yeah,
so Tia is the one who her husband left her. That's because, you know, her husband left her, according to Cupcake. So that's scat right there. Because like I said, men don't typically leave, especially black men. We don't typically divorce our wives, right, or leave our relationships unless some crazy shit happen. You hear me?
No, I wanted to say, look, JP Morgan owns Chase Bank. JP Morgan is like,
right,
he can damn near be solely responsible for the state of America and shit. Like, he's one of the ones that really ripped us off for all of our motherfucking shit and got us where we are right now.
Exactly.
So that's funny. That's funny that she would have that sponsor from him, from a company he owns and shit like that, to preach this, you know, you don't need a man message and shit, more destruction. You know what I mean?
Right.
More destruction planet where they can hide their hands like we ain't got nothing to do with it, but you funding the whole campaign. You get it? So these are the things we try to teach women, like, to look at the fucking bigger picture. Really look at it. Don't just look at, oh, she divorced and oh, she got her freedom and yes, girl, and all that shit. Like, that shit is whack, bro. We at war out here. You ladies are at war too, but y'all are fucking not looking at shit properly. You know what I mean? So you're gonna have to get with a man going forward, at least a man that's in the know or get yourself around some men that's in the know to get your motherfucking, you know, so we can tighten you up and shit. Because the collective is, you know, the collective, that shit look bad, man. It ain't enough good ones speaking up. It ain't fuck. It's too many eager to do on time for the bullshit. Like I said once before, we always late to do the right thing, but we always on time for the bullshit.
Yeah.
It's too much. It's too much of that, man. It's too much of that. And to keep it a buck, that is the face of us. We are the face of fuckery and fuck up and shit. But together, we can fucking pull it together and get back control of our narrative. Stop letting these people tell us that we ain't nothing but some weed wearing BBL motherfucking losers and shit, and you know us men ain't nothing but deadbeat dads who can't keep jobs and shit like that. Like, we don't have to settle for that shit. We don't have to settle for what they're saying about us. We, as the adults, as the leaders of the community now, the able-bodied leaders of the community now, have to begin to lead by example and say, fuck the dumb shit, you know, fuck it, I'm gonna find me one, I'm gonna get out the way, you know, I'm gonna make sure she right, she listens to instruction, you know, she got her little skill, her little home skill set together, you know, she on point with it, and, you know, she, among other things that, you know, she does with herself, whether she works out or, you know, she's fit, feminine, friendly, you know, whatever you're looking for, you know what I mean? But we can't just turn our back on that shit. We can't. Like, that's not written. And I'm totally in opposition to things that ain't written right now, especially in this point in time. So it ain't hard to figure out, man. If it ain't written, then you ain't supposed to be doing that shit.
Right.
So just get back on track, you know, and go forth, man. Don't die alone, man. Who the fuck want to die alone, man? Who the fuck wants to do that, bro?
Nobody. I would think. I would hope.
Who
I know I don't want to die alone.
Voluntarily signs up. Like, fuck it, I'll just die alone. Like, nigga, that's so fucking. That's
whack.
That's lonely, bro. That's probably one of the only things I'm afraid of in life, nigga, to have nobody there when I'm fucking old, shitting on myself and shit like that, and I gotta wait on this nurse who don't give a fuck because they ain't paying her enough money to do what she doing to wipe my black ass and shit, to come in there and change my diaper and shit like that. You know, now I got motherfucking diaper rash like a baby and shit. Like, man, no, bro, no, lady, same thing. The motherfuckers ain't gonna rush to you because you a lady. You'll be laid up in that motherfucker with shit in your little woman diaper too. Sitting there, you know what I mean? Sitting there.
Coochie just stinking.
Dormant in the motherfucker, you know what I mean? You done did all this work to keep your shit clean, and now you gotta lay up and stank in the old folks' home and shit. Like, come on, man. Let's be real with each other, man. Ladies, we sorry for the fuck ups. We sorry for leaving the homes. We sorry for, you know, not guiding y'all better. We sorry for breaking all of that shit up. You know what I mean?
And the sad part about that, hold on, I gotta say this though, since you said the sad part about that, what you just said though, is that that's not even the majority of the guy. That don't apply to a nice majority of guys, man. That only applies to a small majority, man. We gotta understand that most of the fathers was wanting to be involved with our lives. Most of our fathers was wanting to be there, man. Some of our mothers, majority of our mothers, I would even dare say, just were programmed with this indoctrination. Coupled with, let me throw this in there too, Uncle D. Coupled with generational demons. Let me cam up for this shit, goddammit. You hear me? And I ain't even playing when I'm saying what I'm saying. I'm dead ass serious. Generational demons, coupled with all this societal shit. On top of that, epigenetics, on top of the genes, right? On top of that, the generational demons that we don't be let known about or made aware of from our parents that they are passing down to us. And I mean literal demons. I'm not even being joking or funny right now. I mean literally, right? And passing them down to your children without informing them about such things, right? And this is why I say the reason why things the way they are, because it's not in this proper structure. God, man, woman, child. You hear what I just said? So in most of these situations, why they don't last is because they're not in the proper structure. Because if they were coming into a relationship with these generational demons, even if not addressed, as long as you're dealing with a man, like my man Uncle Diggity just said, who's following, right, the Most High, incorporated somehow in his life some type of relationship knowledge with thereof. You understand what I'm saying to y'all right now, man? The proper structure. God, man, woman, child. 9 times out of 10, if a man has that mindset, structure, that mindset, 9 times out of 10, he's going to be able to lead and guide you to a beautiful situation. Not saying it's going to be easy. Not saying it's going to be rough. Not going to be rough. And it's going to be all of that. Are you going to be willing to endeavor to get to where you could possibly potentially be under that proper structure and order? And are you going to be content with that? Willing to be content with that? Just needs, why so much more? Just got to have more. Why isn't being a mother and a wife sufficient enough to provide you with an overabundance of happiness? It's because it's like other things. It's been grafted out of the psyche. It's been grafted out of the perception of reality. It's been literally genetically modified and altered for to not be able to be, let's just say, decoded. Let's just use that for a word. That's a program that's been deleted from the mainframe, from the motherboard, so to speak. You hear me? It's something that's been removed from the motherboard of the you know what I'm saying, female psyche in this reality, and been replaced, or so I'm even gonna say removed, hacked into, hijacked. I think that's a better choice of words. Hijacked, right? And so now you're being fed this false perception, false reality of how things should be or could be versus then for how, or would be versus how they actually are or was designed to be. You know what I'm saying? God, man, woman, child. And it is not in that structure and order, which is why things are out of order. Right? I'm talking about the beautiful, harmonious structure. Right? And like I say, when we get to this thing about this equality and get into this thing about being happy and all this stuff, understand being happy, like I said, is very selfish. Even Kendra pointed it out. Me, 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 me. And when you become a wife and a mother, your life is no longer about you. Just like when you become a man or a father and a husband, your life is no longer about you. But as the father and the man, you have to provide and protect. See, the roles is different, which requires for different mantles, so to speak. You hear me? And in order for a man to protect, provide, he got to work. And depending on if he's called or chosen, you know what I'm talking about? He might have to do some work that's going to require, man, I'm telling you. To whom much is given, much is required. So when y'all think about getting with these boss dudes, you know, you got to think about what it takes to be with a guy who's a boss. And I'm not talking about because he's making a whole bunch of money. I'm talking about if he's been chosen to do something. Understand what I'm saying right now. Talk to me, man. What my man Gino be saying, Uncle D, talk to me. Talk to me. I said you dealing with a man who has been chosen. You got to even be woman enough to be able to recognize the type of dude you even dealing with. A lot of y'all have been messing with a dude who y'all done seen this dude. Y'all done met him at a certain point in his life, and you was thinking like, oh, nah, blah, 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 or whatever. And then you just see some years later or whatever later, you see this dude doing awesome things, man. You hear me? And only if you just would have got on that man's program, shut your mouth and listen, right? Be submissive. Be willing to work through trauma. Because you're going to come into some traumatic situations when you're dealing with such a guy, man. Especially if, depending on what he's doing, his lifestyle may bring that to y'all. And that's what his job, to make sure you protect it from that. And if he's a man, he's going to make sure that you will be. He wouldn't allow for his professional life to affect his personal life in the aspect of, invading it to the sense to where, it's invasive. You hear me? But on the flip side of that is, you got to realize when dealing with such a man that you might not going to be number one on this list. You're not going to get a lot of that man's time. So it's a give and take thing, man, when you're dealing with certain type of guys, man. Now, if you want to deal with a guy who's there at your beck and call and always there to, be the whatever you need him to be for you, listen to what I'm saying, man. I know this sounds crazy too, man. I know it be sounding crazy, man. Right? But when you get in a relationship, man, it's not about you. That's not the structure. God, man, woman, child. And I know that could be taken in so many ways. So what you saying it's all about the husband? No, that's not what I'm saying. Use your foresight. Use your your inner outer extra standing, man. You hear me? Use your you standing versus your understanding. You hear me? When I said what I just said, y'all, man. You hear me? It's a proper structure and order to things, man. Men aren't supposed to be following and being guided and led by women. That's out of order. In any shape, form, or fashion. And with this thing that's going on now, women have been indoctrinated to believe that they can lead men because they've been given a false sense of leading. And listen to what I said, a false sense of leading men, which is definitely being orchestrated and has been allowed to happen. Understand that, or should I say, manipulated to happen. Right? And that's why things are the way they are, because they're out of order. Right? It wasn't designed for especially women to be alone. Now, men can be alone, but it's not good for them to be alone. Do y'all understand the difference? I don't even mean to do this, what I'm doing right now, man. Right? You understand the difference between a man can survive alone, but it's not good for him to do so? That's an ill paradigm right there, man. I know I'm probably just blowing y'all mind a little bit with that a little bit right there, man. Understand the difference between the design, right? Think about the design, right? Man was created alone. Think about what I'm saying. And as everything else was created for everything else, a partner, then the Most High saw that Adam was alone, right? Now, did any of y'all ever think that it was a time period in between there when Adam was alone before his reaching to in the rib was pulled out to create his helpmeet Eve? God's time is not our time. An hour is a day is an hour, a year is 1,000 years, 1,000 years a year or a day. This is what I be saying about to y'all who read them scriptures and say y'all believe in this stuff and y'all don't really understand that concept, right? Y'all understand that Adam was alone for a while in the garden, long time. Men were designed to live alone. It's just not good for them to do so. You understand the difference now? So when we say men can live alone, what's his why? I'm not saying just because you see a man living on the street homeless, it's not good that he's doing that, but he can do that. Do y'all get that? Women not designed to do that. That's why when you see women who are homeless, right? That's why they tend to not be able to really thrive being homeless. Y'all better talk, man. Listen here, man. I don't even mean to just say what I just said. I don't even mean, you hear me, Uncle? You still on the phone, Uncle Dick?
Yeah, I'm here.
I wasn't even trying to preach or nothing like that, y'all. For real, man. I love y'all, man. I'm just being real with y'all, man. You hear me? You know what I'm talking about? And this is what we need. This is our love, man. Reconciliation, solution-based content, man. Don't ever get it twisted and get the misconception because of what you might see somebody like myself posting on fake ass, illusory, not real social engineering and take that at face value, man. Understand, use your outer, inner, outer, extra standing. You hear me? Use your greater thinking, right? Your higher mind, and understand and be able to look beyond, you know what I'm saying, what we would call the BS, and be able to see that there's a greater mission at play here. You hear me? You have to understand certain paradigms within our reality. In order to build, you have to destroy. In order to bring together, you have to separate. Remember when I always tell y'all that we are contradictory by our nature, but when it gets to the level of cognitive dissonance is when it becomes an issue. You know what I'm saying? And until things get back right to the proper structure and order, it's going to always be in a state of disarray. You hear me? And when we look at Tia, you know what I'm saying, doing what she's doing and trying to make a light of it as if not even being 100. Remember I tell you, y'all ain't honest with each other. She's not running around saying, oh yeah, my husband divorced me. She's not saying that. She's saying that the narrative with this situation is we decided that we've outgrown each other. When in all actuality, he left her. According to Cupcake. You hear me? So if that is actual facts that he did actually leave her, then that just feeds into what we be talking about. You hear me? That kind of proves the point, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Now she's a single mother of 2 or a divorced mother of 2. The probability of a man coming across who's on his purpose, a man that's worthy of being led and guided by, right? Listen, Uncle D, the probability you come across that's like non-existent. It's almost like over with at that point. So at that point, the only type of guy you're going to get is a guy who what? You can lead and possibly guide. Because like I say, and then y'all don't even want to admit this, psychologically, it's the power, it's the illusory power of being so-called fake independent that y'all don't want to give up. When in all actuality, you'll find your independence and your interdependence on your man. Now, key word here is man. Just think about that, man. Let me highlight what my baby Cupcake just said, man. See, we need our women more women like Cupcake, man, as we sit up here doing what they doing, man. And I know it gets discouraging because y'all see how far the indoctrination is. You talk to your girls you grew up with, and you're still intercommunicado with and interact with them, whatever level you interact with them, and you see the programming, you see the indoctrination, you see how they have been programmed by the indoctrination. You see them being a victim of it, whether they're a single mom, ain't married, got a hella kids like hella different niggas, whether they're a whore, and you know it, where you know you got a friend you've been on for years and she just been ran through. She done had all type of trauma. She never she done had all type of trauma in her life. She never went to talk to nobody about it, and her life is at where it is now, right? Y'all know these girls, y'all females, man, y'all women out there, y'all know these girls, y'all know them. You like, damn, girl, you pregnant again? Are you pregnant again, friend? Best friend? Let's see, I'll say y'all lie to each other. Y'all bullshit each other. Y'all will not keep it real with each other. And I understand why a lot of y'all chicks who have the ovarian fortitude to keep it real with them. I see why y'all don't, because look how they respond, right? I know it's hard. And this is why I say things are out of order, because women, right, most of y'all aren't willing to do what's necessary, right, to talk to these women, because it gets stressful and it's hard, right? Now you see what men have to put up with. So this right here, so that you know that y'all ain't designed to be leading and guiding, except for each other, and that's only when it's in a healthy way. And if y'all not get discouraged from addressing clear and present danger, right? Because y'all afraid of the pushback from the sisterhood, you know, then that's putting all the responsibility on the men to fix it. And so when we do what men do and fix it and say what's going on now, look at the pushback, because it's out of order, it's out of structure. A lot of y'all women feel y'all don't have to listen to men. Y'all want to know why? Because y'all don't respect men. And a lot of y'all niggas need to realize that shit too, and not be so much like my man Simple be saying, don't expect a bitch to, no disrespect to the ladies, but you know, a bitch gonna do what a bitch do. You hear me? Or women gonna do what women do. Don't get upset for women for being women. Think about why they are the way they are. Big part of it is our fault, fellas. You got to take responsibility for that. I know I do. Right? You feel me, Uncle Diggity?
Sure.
You know what I'm talking about? A lot of this stuff is our fault. And I know it's a lot of niggas that's going to be out there like, oh, it ain't my fault, shit. I'm a real nigga. Nah, I put, you know when you a real one, when you can put yourself in a collective, because to some point, we all have contributed to this. Now, whether we doing it now can be argued, but at some point, we have all done some simp, trick ass, sucker for love ass shit. All of us. So in some form or fashion, at some point, we have contributed to this, right? But it becomes our obligation, our duty, so when we realize certain things, to, you know, drop game, put people up on game about certain things. You know what I'm saying? But when you looking at a bunch of single mother raised children, men and women, or male and females, you get the on both sides, right? So where you get these feminine ass niggas, you get these fake masculine women or females, right? You know what I'm saying? So y'all don't respect men because it wasn't no men around. You didn't have your father growing up. A lot of y'all, most of y'all, majority of y'all. Or he was like sparsely involved, and that was not because he didn't want to be, because he couldn't be, for lots of reasons. Lots of reasons. We could sit here and go down laundry list of the reasons why. Very few dudes just upped and left their families, man. I'm not saying it didn't happen. That was a very small percentage. Majority of dudes wanted to, like now, majority of us, before child support came in real heavy, majority of us want to be involved in our children's lives. But through the indoctrination of independent, don't need, whatever, bargaining chips, leverage, It's been made into a business. Y'all don't even realize how many different levels that we've been affected by this indoctrination, right? To the point now where, you know what I'm saying, it's psychological transgenderism. You know what I mean? In the process, like I say, in the process of becoming a boss bitch, as y'all say, or a boss as a female or woman, you're gonna have to lose everything that makes you a woman, because women weren't designed to be bosses, especially over men. That is totally out of order and structure. That's totally out of order right there. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's out of order though. That's why it doesn't work. That's why it's crumbling right now. You know what I mean? Hit that like button, y'all. Click on the bell, subscribe to the page, man. We got my brother Uncle Dig in the building, dropping them jewels in that game. He can speak on what he's speaking on because he's a married man with him and his wife and their child. Right? So you know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't just up here talking shit.
All experience with me, man. I wouldn't even get up here and run my mouth if it wasn't from experience.
You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't even entertain it.
Yeah, man. So, you know what I mean? We appreciate everybody coming on. Uncle D, you got anything you want to say in closing?
Shit, nothing that I ain't already said.
You see, I ain't got no more words, bro.
This episode ain't real talk podcast, you know what I mean? But you know, y'all just pull together, man. Like I said, make the conscious effort, man. Make the decision to just do right.
Right.
We got our instruction, man. I mean, we got our marching orders. Like,
right.
Come on with it. Like, it's literally that simple, man. I can't stress it enough. You know, ladies, turn the TV off. You know, start to be honest with yourself. Actually do some soul searching this time. Don't just talk that shit and spin off and do the fuckery. I mean, actually do some soul searching. Let yourself know that it's okay to be into the things that you're okay into.
Right.
You're cool with and shit. Just be yourself. You know what I mean? It don't always have to be about something or someone making an impression on you. You can be the person to make an impression on someone. You know what I mean? Y'all need to kind of go back to that.
Right.
Stop trying to abuse the cheat code with all of this little rah-rah shit y'all be into or whatever. You know, fellas, these are our daughters out here. You know what I mean? These are mamas, aunties, daughters, sisters, grandmothers, you know what I mean? All of that shit. So keep in mind, man, lineage and legacy is our fucking, that's us. That's what we do. So to turn your back on that is to basically deny your fucking reason for even being here, man. It ain't, you know, fucking a gang of broads and, you know, hanging out all the goddamn time or even buying the biggest boat in the ocean and shit like that. Don't none of that shit matter if your legacy is finna stop right here with you. Don't none of it matter. You ain't gonna have nobody to leave it to. You ain't gonna, you know. So there's just certain shit we gotta think about out here before we start moving around and making a decision that we not gonna fuck with each other and shit. Let's at least try to fix the shit. I mean, women as well as men as well as women. Like, I can only do so much. You know what I mean? I'm only one family. I mean, right. I try to do right and I try to preach right. Like, I got homies, you know, close homies and shit that's like been married and divorced, or niggas that ain't been married. You know what I mean? You know, all kind of motherfuckers and shit, but I'm always preaching like, bro, you know, you might have fucked up or whatever the case may be, but this is the right thing to do. You know what I mean? Don't just be like, fuck it. I mean, I hate quitters and shit, man. I hate that shit. So
just giving up. Just as soon as things start getting real, soon as things start requiring actual work, You just good. She's a runner. She's a track star.
That shit ain't cool, and that comes from never really being responsible for anything in your motherfucking life outside of a cell phone bill or feeding yourself a cheeseburger or something when you get hungry and shit.
Or this though, Uncle Dick, because I notice a lot of chicks have this, or they've been used to dealing with guys who weren't men, who they were actually leading and guiding, and they got a kick out of that shit.
That shit ain't that ain't it, dude.
Yeah.
Having a man that you can lead, like,
it sound cool at first.
I mean,
listen, Uncle Diggity, it sound cool at first, and it actually is cool at first, because you getting that sense of power. That's that sense of power you get addicted to until you start to realize, hold on. Being a leader and a guider, man, this is work right here, man.
See, as men, in relationship, it's compromise.
Right.
You want your woman to feel empowered.
Right.
To a certain degree. You don't want to you really don't want a feeble ass, yes, and just keep her twiddle her fingers type broad. You want your woman to feel empowered to a certain extent, but women have to stop being drunk with the power.
Yes.
And start to, start thinking that you can piss farther than me and shit like that. Like, check system and shit. Y'all gotta fight. Women have to fucking know their role. Like, I'm the strongest woman in this house. I'm okay with you having that title.
Right.
I'm not the strongest in the house. I'm the strongest woman in this house.
Right.
That's fine. You lead the kids and you lead everything that's under you. I'm your umbrella, your shelter from the storm and shit, your protector and shit like that. So you should find solace knowing that you can just be the strongest woman in the house and you have a man over your head that'll motherfucking, grab his strap and get down to it if it came down to that.
Right.
So, it's all perspective and shit, man. I really don't understand the whole women doing it by themselves and shit like that. My mom did it by herself and shit. I turned out okay, but it wasn't really from anything she taught me. She really just kind of did her job, fed me, kept a roof over my head, kept me clothed and shit like that. But all of the game and shit I had to go out there and bump my head and learn, on my own, with the exception of having, a couple older cats talk to me here and there about this, that, and the third.
Right.
But, ultimately I had to learn that shit by myself, man. Like, that shit ain't cool. Ladies, you're out there raising them babies and shit by yourself, man. That's not gravy.
Wow.
And now that stepdaddy's kind of got a bad connotation and shit now, it's really finna be hard on the yard and shit. So
niggas ain't trying to take care of nobody else's kids, man.
Y'all done fucked it up. Like, once upon a time, a nigga be okay. Like, she got a kid and shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. The kid little and shit. I'd stay with her and shit. Maybe we have our own kid or whatever like that. Once upon a time, it was cool.
Right.
But then, like I said, we try to empower y'all, but then y'all get drunk with the power. Then you start throwing the shit in our faces. Brittany Renner to my old stepdaddy season and all of this weird ass shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we won't turn the fucking light off and we'll unplug all of this shit. You know what I mean? Like, you're getting too big for your britches and shit. Your mouth is finna cost you a whole lot. It's gonna write you a check your ass can't cash.
So,
like, y'all have to be mindful of these things. Like, the world is society or TV media and all that shit is designed to fuck us up.
Right.
The only way we are going to make it happen is if we stop taking media for word as bond. You know what I mean? Like, we have to stop doing that and begin to deal with each other all over again.
That's a fact.
And learn each other and learn, just the simple things that it takes to make a relationship work and shit. That shit is still in play. That's still human interaction and shit. Right. So people need to get back to that and get off of this, stop looking at motherfuckers' pictures. Ladies, make yourselves accessible in public, make it okay for gentlemen to approach you again and shit. And, you going out, you spending all this time dolling up and looking right and all of that shit, and you go out and you don't even get hollered at. I mean, how does that feel? You know, you spent 2 fucking hours, you know, doing all of this shit, and you going out and niggas is really looking past you.
Looking right past
looking at you like, oh, this bitch ain't even, you know, like, oh, I'm cool. Like, she ain't finna, you know, blow my pocket up, or she ain't finna, you know what I mean? Like, this is how society is basically presenting y'all's image to us. And us as men are saying, no, we're not fucking going for that. We'd rather just stack our money and be by ourselves. So if that's not really what y'all want, then y'all have to put yourselves in position to be chose, man. I can't really tell you no better than that. Put yourself in position to be chose. The loudmouth, ratchet, you know, weave down her ankles, motherfucking let's go, twerking at the headlights and all that shit, that's not it. You'll never get chose. But if you're okay with not being chose, then be my guest.
Right.
You know? It's as simple as that, man. I'll land right there.
All right, Uncle D, man. Thank you for, man. You already know, man. We love when you come on. I know I do, man. Add to the show, you know what I'm saying? Always add something to it. You know what I'm saying? And being a man who's married right now, you can get a perspective that, you know what I'm saying, that's harsh. You know what I'm saying, but honest, and but it's with love at the same time, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, to bring that balance, because, you know what I'm saying, I know my brother Uncle Diggity, you know what I'm saying, you know what I mean, being a married man, I'm pretty sure he's operating under the proper structure and the proper order, and that's why he can speak on what he speak on, not from a place of malice, but a place of actual love and happiness. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not happy because his wife's making him happy.
I know how to find my own. I know how to spend my money on things that will keep me subdued and make me happy and shit like that. So I come in here, you know, fuck with the music or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I don't depend on her to put a smile on my face and shit. She's my solace. She's my comfort.
Right.
When I want to be happy, I go and do something that makes me happy. When I want to feel solitude and I want to feel comfort, I go in there with my wife.
Right. Big difference too. Big difference.
When I want to kick it, roll one, watching TV and shit, eat dinner, you know, do all of that type of shit, that's when I'm up under my wife. But other than that, I have to get from under her to go and do what I have to do to keep this thing right. You know what I mean?
Right. That's a fact.
Everybody got a job. Everybody got positions to play. So it'll never be completely smooth like that. But if you tweak it and get it to, you know, I like this, and y'all begin to, you know, it can work, bro.
Right.
It can work.
It can definitely work. I know. I have faith, so to speak, man. I'm not one of these guys, Uncle Diggity, who just because I've been through some situations and, you know, failed relationships, I'm up here like, oh man, fuck that. I ain't fucking ready. I'm just fuck this for the rest of my life. And I'm not. Hey, if that's what you want to do, listen. If that's what you want to do, hey, do you? You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? If that's not what you want to do, there's nothing wrong with that either, though. And I think that's on us as brothers too, as men. We gotta stop shaming dudes who like want to be married and want to have relationships and build families. That's an honorable thing, I think, personally, man. I don't think that's nothing wrong with that. But I at the same time, I understand through the indoctrination, I can understand why guys don't want to pursue it, though. I get it, though. Look what you have to put up with. An overwhelmingly mass majority of especially black women amongst us. Y'all outnumber us. And to understand, if every single black man had a woman right now, it would be like 2 million of y'all left over without a black man. Not because you can't get one, because there's just not one available. Like literally not one available. I want y'all to. I tell y'all that because I want y'all to think about that while y'all talking about something. You don't need a man, right?
Bro, that shit whack as fuck.
That's whack right. That's whack right there, man.
It's fuck to me, bro. Like,
I think that's whack as fuck, man.
Single life is okay. Like single life is cool because you can, you know, you're now free to move about the country and shit like that. But you know, after a while, man, after you didn't, you know, went on all these dates and shit, you begin to look at the money you spend, and then you call yourself, all right, well, I ain't gonna date as much. That ain't gonna do nothing but add to the fucking loneliness and shit like that. So it's like, you know, you constantly in between saying, fuck it, I'm a quitter, or you know, fuck it, I'm gonna go on and be with somebody, or fuck it, I'm gonna just go on and date or whatever like that. Man, you might as well get somewhere and get stationary. That way, you ain't gotta, when you're young, bouncing around and screwing the gang and chicks is the shit. You know what I mean? Obviously, you gotta get your fucking
you gotta sow your royal oats.
You gotta get your experience. You gotta get your stroke game together and shit like that. You can't be pulling up on the main stage and shit, and you ain't rehearsed and shit. So you gotta rehearse. You know what I mean? But ultimately, you rehearsing so you can fucking sit your ass down somewhere. I know that's a twisted logic and shit because we encourage women not to rehearse and shit like that. But I don't teach his own, man. I mean, if y'all motherfuckers is too inexperienced motherfuckers, then y'all can enjoy y'all inexperienced fucking episode or whatever. But ultimately, a man is really doing it just to fucking, get his experience together. And after he's done it a couple times and he starts to figure out that, hey, this shit's all the same. The only difference is the girl's face and the tone in her voice. But the act is the same and everything is the same, then it becomes hacky and repetitive and shit. Then that's when you need to pull back, like, you know what, let me just find one and get on out the way, man. Because you wasting money dating and shit. You wasting money. You could be building something like that. If I could go back and get all of the money I spent just on bullshit, just trying to knock a broad down or whatever the hell like that, like, nigga, I could just go buy a car or something, like, straight up, like, you know what I mean? Just on some bullshit. You know what I mean? You don't want to be that dude that's in your 50s and shit and 60s and shit, still chasing around young bitches and shit, and all they want is your money because, nigga, you got grades coming out your sack now, so she really ain't got that, you know what I mean? Like, she don't want shit to do with you old nigga. Get somewhere and sit your ass down, bro. Find your wife and sit down, my nigga. Like, for real. Like, it ain't popular opinion is a motherfucker, man. Popular opinion is like, that is like one of our fucking that is like one of our biggest vices, bro. Popular opinion. Popular opinion right now is stopping us from being everything that we were destined and designed to be. Popular opinion.
Lance Parker said this one rapper pulled up with all 19 baby mamas. That's on YouTube.
Man, that nigga right there need to motherfucking go to jail or something, bro. Like that, and that's another thing too, fellas. Don't be out here motherfucking just planting seeds at every motherfucking garden and shit, bro. Like, it ain't I mean, this nigga, okay. This nigga, that's dude that was like he a rapper and shit. Okay, we don't even know this nigga. So, all right, you a failed rapper or something right now. You got a little, like, that's your claim to fame. You got 19 kids. We ain't heard none of your music or nothing. So, let's just keep it buck. So now you got 19 other little motherfucking peasy head motherfuckers around here finna run around and not do nothing when you could have stayed motherfucking within the structure, because basically you're gonna have one solid structure and you're gonna have 18 motherfucking flags, red flags and shit running around. So that's not good. That's not good posture right there, bro. That's lame. And we need to stop looking at that thinking that shit cool. I hope everybody that's seen that, because I saw that, I hope everybody that's seen that was disgusted by that shit, man and woman.
Yeah, I don't
let's start being disgusted by the things that they show us. When we know it's not right, let's just start being disgusted by the shit. Let's stop laughing and entertaining it and, acting like the shit's cool just to fucking be cool. Like, nah, shun that shit, bro. That's not right. That's not what you want to see for your kids. That's not what you want to see for yourself. So, let's be more responsible on that note.
That's a fact, man. My man, Uncle Diggity, man, thanks for coming through and blessing us with your presence, brother. To the next time, you already know, man. You can tap in tomorrow. We going in spiritual roots. We're going to be discussing, I'm talking about John the Baptist and the prophet Elijah tomorrow, man. We going in.
Works for me, man. Whatever Pops get up here and chop it about, I'll be tuned in. I make sure I
Yeah.
roll like 2 or 3 and just shit. I don't even really be in the chat that much. I just be sitting there with the headphones on or something, just listening in. And shit.
I'm gonna go pick him up tomorrow, man, and we just gonna get it in like that because you know he still got his faulty jack situation going on.
Yeah, we gotta get him on the good microphone so we can hear the message.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and scoop him. I'm gonna go ahead and scoop him up tomorrow. And we're gonna do the double demo like we did the other week and all that stuff. So I will holler at you, Uncle D. Have a good evening, man.
Yeah, man. You too. Salute everybody in the chat, man.
Yeah, you already know, man. All right, Uncle Diggity.
All right.
Shout out to my brother Uncle Diggity, man. You already know, man. He a real one to tap in with us. He said this mad, but his kids is doomed for potential poverty. 19 kids. Come on, we got 19 baby mamas, man. That's not nothing to be proud about, man. That's not nothing to be championing. 19 kids, man, by 19 different chicks? That is fucking ridiculous, man. For real, man. That's crazy. That is insane. You know what I'm saying? It's just leaning on me to lead y'all with this song, man. You hear me? It's just leaning on me to lead y'all with this song, man. You hear me? Thanks for everybody for coming out, man. We've been going in, you know what I'm saying? This weekend, Saturday night, Sunday morning, man. We go in a little bit longer than what we normally do throughout the week. You know what I'm saying? We got an interesting week of shows coming up. You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow night, me and my pops going in, of course. You know what I'm saying? Monday, we going in. Hold on, let me pull them up for y'all real quick. Monday, of course, we going in as well. You know what I'm saying? We definitely going in Monday as well. We got tomorrow, we got the spiritual roots with me and my pops. You know what I'm saying? We got the spiritual roots of Elijah the prophet and John the Baptist tomorrow. So y'all know y'all want to tap in with that. You know what I'm saying? My pop's gonna have that demo going. Then Monday, we going in. Hold on. So y'all know y'all want to tap in with that. You know what I'm saying? My pop. Oh, my fault, y'all. And then we got on Monday, you know what I'm saying? We got damn, what the fuck, man? Hold on. Hold on real quick, y'all. Damn. Hold on real quick, y'all. Then on Monday, we got the last of the analog generation. Remember, I've been telling y'all I was going to do this show? Monday show is going to be the last of the analog generation. Millennials, smart grid, metaverse. You hear me? We're going to be going in on Monday discussing the importance of our generation, y'all. I'm talking about us early millennials, us born between 1980 and 1990. Right? 92 if you want to be technical. You hear me? And we're going to be discussing the importance of our generation, my generation specifically, people who are my age. Let's just say people born between 1980 and 1986. You hear me? We're going to be discussing the importance of our generation and why we have been subjected to a specific and special level of indoctrination even right now. You hear me? And why it's important for us to realize that, because we're the last generation to know what the world was like before the smart grid metaverse came fully online. Y'all hear what I just said? I said we are the, let me come up for this, man. And I got my damn do-rag on too. Normally I wouldn't come up with my do-rag on, but I'm gonna just, since we about to end the show, it don't matter. Listen, we are the last generation that knew what things were like before the metaverse smart grid came in fully. Y'all understand the importance and significance of that? That's what we're going to be discussing on Monday. Tuesday, we're going to have my brother Court on the show, my brother Rain Man, him and his beautiful wife, my sister Valen Haynes. They just opened up their business, the H Loss, and we're going to have Court on Tuesday discussing that. I'm going to make the post for that later on the day after I wake up and stuff before I go run my errands for Sunday. I'm going to take care of all that. Wednesday, we got a special guest coming on the show. One of my childhood friends, my brother Matt Seward, is going to be on the show. He's a music extraordinaire, performed with some of the best in the jazz and contemporary music. He's doing this thing out there in Las Vegas. He's going to be on the show. Ladies' night this Thursday, going to be something special. I'm going to let y'all know Wednesday night when my brother Matt come on. You hear me? What Thursday night's going to be about. And I know next Friday we're doing a Friday night wrap up and so forth and so on. Thanks everybody for coming out, tapping in with us. We've been going in. This is the second show in the same evening. You did. Everybody tapped in. I appreciate that, man. Listen, y'all hit that like button, man. Click on the bell, subscribe to the page, man. Tap in and walk with us tomorrow night. Me and my pops going in, Spiritual Roots. Elijah the Prophet, John the Baptist. We're going to dig into who these guys were, what their mental was, and what their mission was. You hear me? Thanks to everybody for coming out. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all right here with us, and we appreciate that, man. Tap on that like button, so click on the bell, subscribe to the page, sharing your social engineering. You already know, and I'm going to leave y'all with this song right here. I think I'm going to leave this for y'all ladies, man. Hey, shout out to Tia MOWRY, you know what I'm saying, for putting on full display that which we talk about day to day, right? And when I say day to day, I don't mean day after day. I mean, you know, from time to time. You know, because there's way more important things than the nature of these fucking females, man. Right, but we got to understand how important to talk about this is, because this is a result of the other agendas and indoctrinations at foot, right? It's all incorporated. Y'all can please believe that this right here can be connected and correlated to the smart grid and the metaverse, like I just did when I just talked about it, right? So, you know what I'm saying, man? Y'all chicks out there, man, come across a guy who's on his purpose, man. Might be a little rough around the edges, but you see and you know your interaction with him that you can listen to him. He can lead you. He can guide you. Take off your cool. Let go of that illusory, false sense of power you've been indoctrinated with through the ability to get a degree and a job and make a business and make money and do all this stuff that men do, right? Not saying don't pursue your endeavors of wanting to be a CEO, right? But realizing in the process of doing such, you're going to lose a lot of that stuff that makes you a woman, which means your femininity. You got to ask yourself, are you willing to lose that in exchange to become a boss bitch? And if you are, you have to be willing to accept that the only type of males you're only going to get is males who you can lead and guide, right? And are only going to be at best with you fuck toys, which is totally out of order. You got to be able to find that balance and how you can be a CEO and then come home and be a submissive wife. If you can figure that out, which most women can't and don't, but if you can somehow figure that out, you definitely need to start your own podcast. Because there's something about a woman downloading this masculine traits of being a boss and a CEO, and you know, I haven't seen it on record yet, or not too much of a woman who can do that and then at the same time be submissive to a man. Because what's synonymous with this process is losing all respect for men and looking at men as your competitors, food to be eaten, right? Objects to be used, even abused or misused. So think about that, man. I don't want y'all to think man, I love women, man. I love women to death, man. I couldn't imagine a world without women. I wouldn't want to be in a world without women. I don't ever think about being in a world without women. I love the way y'all smell, the way y'all look. I would say the way y'all taste, but you know, that's another topic for another day. You know what I mean? Love everything about you, ladies, man. You hear me? Love everything about y'all, especially y'all black ones. You know, in your different flavors and shapes and sizes. You know what I'm talking about? Love you to death. Really do. That's why I do what I do. When I talk about y'all, I'm talking about y'all because I love you. If I like my man Uncle D said, we ain't give a fuck, we wouldn't say shit. Matter of fact, if we really didn't fuck, we would take advantage. Because my handsome, charismatic, magnetic self could get on here and pull a straight Derek Jackson on y'all, and y'all be giving me all that money. But like I said, I have to look at myself in the mirror. You hear me? And even though what I'm looking at is not a reflection of who I actually am, I still got to be comfortable looking at that. So y'all have a good evening, man. Don't settle for less, ladies, man. Hit that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, share, and social engineer, man. Come back tomorrow. We at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all know how we doing Sunday. We going at 8 p.m. on Sunday. Let's go.
Yeah. You know what comes a time in every man's life when we ready to settle down and make things right, but only for that special one. We be trying to make her you, but y'all want to keep playing games with these lanes. So make your next move your best move, because we the best dudes. Oh yeah, don't settle for less, babe. I can love you better than you can imagine. Take it from the madness. Girl, I don't know why you keep these lanes around. You wildin' out. Don't you settle for less. What up, beauty queen? You know I really wanna invite you to my world and show you my unique persona. We can get together, steam it up like a sauna, take you on the natural high, no marijuana, just a bottle of wine, some ice chill prosecco. You coded on to that lame dude, you should let go. You was gonna be mine from the very get-go. I'm trying to make you white because you special. You got the best flow, designer fresh clothes, make your own dough, on your home dough, vehicle. It's fully paid for. That frame flame no selfie queen. You know your angles. Red bottom heels, 5 diamond encrusted mangoes. We got the same goals, copping land and counting bankrolls. Creating generational wealth, so our seeds grow. I know your needs though, and you know mine's the same. It's an honor and a privilege to give you my last name. I can love you better than you can imagine. Tip from madness. Girl, I don't know why you keep these legs around. You wildin' out. Don't you settle for less. Trips and shoppers freeze, you know that's mandatory. I'm trying to open your mind, peep the allegory. They say that love don't last, so let's change the story. I send my heart out to you, please come for me. Let's take control of our love, no conforming. Late night love sessions last until the early morning. Cooking breakfast, but naked eggs, bacon and toast. Fried potatoes and onions, girl, I love you the most. When my body be aching, you rub the pain out. Roll up the Dutchess for me while I pour champagne out. I pour my heart and my soul, plus my pain out. You got a real one right here, so leave the lanes out. Please stop with the game. The mother lanes missing your time. Why they love me even in your phone? They always think it's time. You should just fuck with me. So don't settle, don't settle, don't settle for less. every season, baby. Don't settle for less. Know your worth, baby. Facts.
You
than you can imagine.
Take you from the back.
Know your self-worth.
Girl, I don't know why you keep these flames around. Yeah, Father, now don't you settle for less.